Test, 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 test. 1, 2, test, test, 1, 2. All right, welcome to Fifth Third Arena, where two teams who are desperately in need of a win tonight in a Big 12 matchup between the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Cincinnati Bearcats. Who's getting tricked? Who's getting a treat?
Both of these teams coming in 4 straight losses for each of these teams tonight. Both of these teams desperate for a win, just like you said in the opener. Very similar teams all around, if that's the conference record or their overall record. Both teams have struggled in the last couple of weeks, especially in the month of October.
They definitely have, and I'm Chase Johnson, Jack Ritchie alongside me. Excited to see this one. Looking at Texas Tech, like you mentioned, Jack, they've lost 4 games in a row, and they've lost 8 of the last 9. Looking at a player to watch, though, Mia Wesley has been tearing up on the stat sheet.
She has been. She leads the team in kills with 236. She has been one of the lone offensive producers for this Texas Tech team so far in the season. So they're going to have to really trust her throughout most of the game today if they want to try to get a win.
What's one of the keys that you're looking forward to for the Red Raiders to win this one?
For Texas Tech, they really have to win that first set. They have not won a set since all the way back on October 5th against Colorado, and they're desperately in need of one. If they can get one early, they might sway the momentum of the game tonight.
On the flip side, Cincinnati, they have lost the last 4 games in a row, 5 of the last 6. In the last 3 of those games, they played ranked opponents. But Carly Glendening is the one mainstay who's really been dominating this season.
She's been dominating all year. Just like Mia Wesley on the other side, leads the team with 228 kills for Cincinnati. And also, like you said, playing Kansas, Baylor, and TCU, all teams in the Associated Press Top 25. You're obviously playing really good competition. It's going to be tough to get wins, especially in a Big 12 conference when all around, all across the board, there's really good teams.
We talked about keys for Texas Tech, but what about for Cincinnati? How do they get this win in front of this home crowd?
For Cincinnati, you really have to trust your veterans, just like we were talking about Carly Glendening, Sydney Nolan, and as well as Abby Walker. Some of the 3 of the main pieces of not only the offense, but the leaders of this team that can help some of the young players like Faith Frame to try to get a win here tonight at home.
It's a light show. It's loud here in Fifth Third. We'll be back in 30 seconds when this match resumes. Here we are back here at Fifth Third Arena. We've got a big one tonight. Bearcats coming in at 11-7 overall, 2-5 in the Big 12. At Texas Tech at 9-10 overall in the season, and 1-6 in the Big 12. Getting toward November, tournament play coming at the end of November. This is a big one in the standings.
These are the desperate games you really need for both of these teams. They're very similar, not only in record, but also if you want to try to get some wins at the end of your Big 12 schedule and make a statement maybe for a postseason run, these are the games you got to get here right before Halloween.
Cincinnati, their last time here at home was against Kansas on Saturday, October the 12th. Kansas, one of those 3 teams in a row they lost to that was in the Associated Press Top 25. They lost to them 3-0, and they lost a tough one to Kansas State a couple Thursdays ago. Went 5 sets, extra points, everything. It was a hard-fought game on both sides.
Definitely. Both those games, it's tough because some of those better programs, as Cincinnati is a newer team into the conference, they just have a lot better culture, and sometimes they even have more talent, just bigger girls. But Cincinnati's been fighting all season. They've gotten some really resilient wins all around their schedule, and tonight will be a really important one.
Looking at tonight's starters on the court for Texas Tech. Down the line, Bryn Williams, Aaliyah McDonald, and Maddie Correa, as well as Hannah Borer, Reagan Engler, Emily Merrick, and like we mentioned in the open, Mia Wesley.
For Texas Tech and for Cincinnati, you know, they might try to mix things up not only with their substitutions, but both these coaches, just what they've based on seeing on film, just either if that's defensive substitutions or just trying to get extra girls in there to try to get some points. But I think another big thing for both these teams are going to be service errors. In Texas Tech's last game against TCU, they had a lot of bad plays where they went down early in the first set, and it also happened against Iowa State where they get down early and it's really hard to fight back, especially when you get down 1-2-0. It's going to be hard to try to get that win.
Setting the tone, very key for both these teams who desperately need one tonight. Cincinnati, Caitlin Leffler, Carly Glendenning, Lee Gillespie, Faith Frame, Gretchen Sigmund, Abby Walker, and Zeta Washington will be tonight's starters for the Cats. Here the joint is jumping here at 5/3. And serving it away is going to be Borer for Texas Tech. We're underway from 5/3, the 5-1-3. Glendenning with the tap over, and Wesley controls it. Up top set, Bryn Williams sends it down, but Gillespie has a hand on it. Blocked at the net, but Cincinnati has control on it. Leffler up over to Abby Walker, but Texas Tech with the control. Merrick puts one down and gets points on the board for Texas Tech.
Interesting lineup tonight. You got a couple freshmen in there with Gillespie and obviously Faith Frame, the star libero, but also you have those key people up front for Cincinnati. But right there, a couple good digs by Gillespie in the back row, but eventually just got a good point on Cincinnati.
Borer will again serve it for the Red Raiders, controlled by Glendenning. Set up by Leffler, back to Glendenning. Glendenning puts one. It's over the net. Cincinnati has control over it. Walker finds a spot, puts it down into the earth.
Big time kill there by Abby Walker on our far sideline. Just a good setup right there for an easy kill, and quickly it's even 1-1.
Here Walker had the kill, she will serve it. 1-1 the score. Wesley controls it. And Zeta Washington with probably one of the easiest points she'll have right there.
Just puts it right over with ease. Kind of just was flowing there up in the middle of the floor, and she just got to it quickly, and that's just a free point for Cincinnati.
Washington, the sophomore from Ponte Verde, Florida, played a big part, especially on that front line. Texas Tech with the control. Bryn Williams finds the open spot, but not in play. Bearcat point.
Quickly, Bearcats score 3 unanswered here, and let's see if that can start to bring a little momentum here in this first set.
It's kind of like basketball. It's a game of run and momentum.
It definitely is, yeah.
Walker sends it over. Texas Tech on the control. When Williams puts it down, unable to control was Gillespie, and Texas Tech get it back.
Yeah, just like that, they got a point back. We might see that a lot tonight. It might go back and forth a lot, just like what you said. It can be a game of runs, and things can get out of hand quickly, so if you're Cincinnati, you have to contain that.
Here Williams bounces the ball a couple of times, gets her serve ready, sends it away. Controlled by Gillespie. Leffler over to Glendenning. Tried to push it long, but a nice play. And down into the earth. Wow.
Powerful kills all around right now for the Red Raiders. And for that back line for Cincy, they're just going to have to react faster. Obviously, that one got right by Faith Frame, but you have to make those adjustments here.
Normally, Faith Frame seems as though she's on the spot. She's been a really good freshman for this Bearcats team this season. Sent over the top. Glendenning with the control. Frame back to Glendenning. Over the top. Nice control by Williams. Texas Tech has it. Wesley over the top. Blocked at the net. The Red Raiders keep it alive. Easy set. Met at the net. Zeta Washington has control of it. Gillespie over the Glendenning and drops down, but keeping it alive is Texas Tech. Wow, what a play. Leffler sets up Washington over the top and drops in, finds the open door.
Good rally right there in the first set. Some really good defensive plays by Texas Tech, but overall just a great point for the Bearcats. They reclaim the lead.
Again, that was a very long-winded rally to say the least. Both teams going at it as Leffler will be the one to serve it away. Bearcats up 4-3 in the first set. Wesley controls it up top and dropped down low by Aaliyah McDonald with a little assistance from Borer.
Nice play right there in the middle of the court for Texas Tech. Just some athleticism shown right there by Williams.
Your 4-4 the score. Maddie Correa, the senior from San Antonio, Texas, will serve this one away. 19 service aces and just lips it over, and poking it over with Zeta Washington. It'll be point Texas Tech. Almost a service error in that, or service ace in that one, excuse me.
Maybe a little bit of luck there as it just rolls right over the net, but you just need some of those things to happen for you if you're Texas Tech trying to get a win here tonight.
A little bit of luck goes a long way in a long season. Again, Correa will serve this one over. They're up 5-4. Leffler up top, Washington, and wow.
Nice kill there by Washington. I mean, she's been all over the floor, it seems like, in this first set, right there in the middle. Her second kill of the night already, and we're square at 5.
Squared at 5, and Glendenning, number 4, will serve this one away. Wesley controls it. Borer over to Merrick. And Faith Frame able to avoid any sort of touching. The Bearcats get that point side out for Cincinnati.
Smart play by Faith Frame right there, and a little bit of confusion here, maybe by the officials. Discussion. I think they're going to say they think Faith Frame touched it, and they are, and I think Cincinnati's going to challenge.
That's the thing. It's interesting, though, in volleyball. You have, you know, a very fast flying object coming at you, and you got to try to dodge it, kind of like dodgeball in a way as well. There's a lot of different things that go into this game.
Yeah, and Faith Frame didn't think she touched it. She was showing that she did. I'm waiting to see if we can get a replay here. But to me, at least here on our near sideline, I didn't think it did. But
this is the first time I think I've seen a replay on the video board this year. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was anywhere close.
I mean, I know it's spooky season, Jack, and ghosts start to come around, but I don't think anyone touched that.
Halloween spirits in the air tonight. It looks like there's some minions over there.
Oh, my gosh.
By the student section.
You got minions over there. Look like the Bearcat to the right broke out of jail.
Oh, yeah.
Or is that a NASA suit? I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not sure yet. They're giving the point, though, to Cincinnati. Like we said, that's a big point there by Faith Frame. Smart play by the freshman.
Yeah, again, with Faith Frame on the season, 255 digs coming into this contest. She has been fantastic. We'll talk more about her into this match. Glendenning will serve the layup, 6-5. Controlled Borer to Merrick up top, deflected by Washington. Cincinnati has it on the control. Leffler up top. Washington, wow, finds the spot again. 3 early kills for number 99, White.
She just keeps getting some great setups in the middle by Leffler, and she's just putting it down with no mercy.
7-5 the score for the Bearcats on top of the Red Raiders in this first one. And barely going out right there. Glendenning almost had a service ace.
Rare service error, though, by Glendenning, and it'll pull Texas Tech within 1 point here as their libero will go out to serve.
7-6 the score. Emily Contreras, the sophomore from Austin, Texas, will serve this one away. Controlled by Frame, set up by Leffler, over the top by Zeta Washington, and she is putting her mark on this first set early.
Another one, just taps that one over, though. Smart play there by Washington, the sophomore. Abby Walker will come in to replace her, but she's made an impact quickly for the Cincinnati team.
Versatility. It's been a lot of, some very hard kills. It's been some nice tap over the net. She's playing with a lot of stuff in her bag. Over the top was Faith Frame, and another service error. We talked about that a little bit before we came on the air. It's whoever can limit those errors and just mistakes.
Yeah, it just can't happen when you're trying to get a first set.
Mia Wesley sends it over. 8-7 Bearcats up. And down into the earth. Wow. What a play right there. Gretchen Sigmund, the freshman, getting some time.
Powerful kill right in front of Mia Wesley. Couldn't quite get it after the serve, but a nice point there by the Cats. They'll lead by 2.
Sigmund, the freshman from Holland, Ohio. Only played 16 sets this season, 11 kills in that time frame. She just got one right there. Sent over by Caroline Endress, and another service error. The third one.
Third in a row. I was going to say third in a row by Cincinnati. And when you go up 2, all the momentum starts to go to your side, but if you keep giving Texas Tech serves, it might not be a good first set for you.
Keeping that door open. You got to shut it when you can. And that right there was a serve over the top by Hannah Borer, and Texas Tech has a point. 9-9 the score. Excuse me, that was Reagan Engler. 17-12, eyes deceiving. Engler sends it over the top. Set up, Abby Walker tried and just hit it into the net.
3 points in a row now by Texas Tech off of pretty much mistakes. Those are things that you can make happen if it's one just couldn't contain on that back line that time. Abby Walker just hit it right into the net.
Just like that, Texas Tech has gotten a couple points in a row. They're up 10-9, and as I speak too soon, we got a 10-10 ball.
Announcer's curse for the good guys that time. Goes right into the net, but 10-10 now as Gillespie will go out to serve for the Cats. Let's see if they can get it over this time.
Well, we're not the bad guys, I'll tell you that. Oh, man, over the top. Willie Gillespie will serve this one. The hometown Cincinnati kid. And easily enough, it's just sent back over. A lot of chaos. Glendening with it, sends it down. Goes back and forth, hits over the net.
Great job by Glendening, just putting it over after kind of a chaotic point there. It got deflected away. Williams did a good job at putting it back over, but Glendening did a good job at getting the point for the Cats.
Our eyes were ping-ponging back and forth to see what was going on.
Absolutely.
And Gillespie sends it over. Texas Tech on the control. Bryn Williams finds a way. Nice dig right there by Gillespie. Here is Glendening over the top. Served up. Bryn Williams. Was it in? It was.
Williams has been doing a really good job on that far sideline, just getting the ball in play past the Cincinnati back line. I think that's her third or fourth kill of the night already in this first set, and we're already tied at 11.
Yeah, Williams on the season, 134 kills. The junior from Mansfield, Texas, has done a great job this season. Here's Cincinnati on the controlling side. Sydney Nolan gets in. And a nice defensive play right there by Correa. Here, Glendening drop over the top. Texas Tech controls it. Correa up to Mia Wesley in the middle of the court. Cincinnati has the control. Sydney Nolan with the tap over the top, and Texas Tech keeps it alive on their side. Wesley, a little tap over the top. There's a drop in. Wow. Trying to push it in coffin corner, but a little too far for Mia Wesley and the Red Raiders.
Yeah, good point. Looked like Texas Tech was a little bit confused on that last play. Coach trying to give him a little bit of confidence, but a big point for Cincinnati.
Look, Wesley wanted to have that possibly reviewed. But she'll control that one. Here, Bryn Williams over the top, and Walker has the control on it. Zeta Washington tap over, and it's on Texas Tech's side. Pushed over by Borer. Cincinnati has it. Glendening with the hard hit. Not much room for Correa to try to corral that one. Glendening, she's really good at volleyball.
Really good at volleyball indeed. The junior out of St. Louis, Missouri, putting it down right there on the Texas Tech defense. Another great kill by Carly Glendening.
The Cats are on a run right now, 13-11 the score. Merrick over the top. Sydney Nolan with her tall frame gets on it. Glendening again, taps it over.
Nice easy kill again by Glendening. That time just went right through the blocker's hands for Texas Tech, but she'll take that all day. Cats starting to expand the lead a little bit now, 14-11. They lead by 3.
Glendening's third kill of the night. Sent over by Abby Walker and controlled by Texas Tech. Bryn Williams sends it over and blocked at the net by Carly Glendening. They'll try again. Williams is a higher arch over it, but Cincinnati has it. Zeta Washington sends it over. Correa controls it. Williams over the top, met by a couple hands. The Bearcats have it. Glendening tried to do it again, but rejected by Bryn Williams. And touching the antenna up top, that's a no-no.
Great point. I mean, that was just a great defensive. They're actually going to give the point to Texas Tech there.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I thought, I was with you there. I thought she hit it, but maybe the Cincinnati defender hit it instead. But either way, good defensive rally there. Both teams did a good job at blocking. Carly Glendening got blocked twice, but back and forth they went. And now cleaning up the floor a little bit, but 2-point game. Let's see if Texas Tech can go on a little bit of a run on their own.
We've seen a couple of really good rallies going on. Like that last one we saw one about 7 or 8 points back, you know.
And those are the most fun to see when both teams go back and forth, especially in a high stakes first set like this.
Definitely fun for the viewers, hopefully fun for the listeners as well. And a service error right there for Bryn Williams. That'll make it 15-12 Cincinnati. Be a timeout on the floor. We're going to take a very short breather here on Bearcat Sports Radio. We'll be back here with the conclusion of set number 1. Back here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Everybody here in the arena just wants somebody to dance with. The music's been going on, you know. It's been a great vibe. Now it kind of got creepy.
Love hearing Whitney Houston on the speakers, of course, but this first set's been pretty good as advertised. 15-12 is our score pretty much halfway through the set. And now Leffler will serve it away.
Here, number 3 will serve it up 3, and their service error. There's been a lot of service errors between these two teams, just passing it back and forth at the rate.
Luckily, Texas Tech has had a couple of their own. That's the good thing for Cincinnati, but you got to clean those up as this game continues.
Here, Maddie Correa will serve this one over down 15-13 in favor of the Bearcats. Leffler sends up to Glendenning and blocked right at the net.
I mean, Tech's playing some good defense on this near sideline. Glendenning, the kill leader for the Cincinnati Bearcats. She's had a couple tonight, but the last couple of ones, Texas Tech has been getting to her a little bit.
They had 2 right there. It was Merrick and Engler. Correa sends it over. Leffler set up for Washington, drops it down. Not quick enough was Hannah Bora.
It is the Zeta Washington legacy game so far in this first set. I think that's her fifth kill of the first set. She's been all over the floor and kind of bouncing out the offense so far for the Bearcats.
5 kills tonight, hit percentage of 71.4% as Glendenning serves it over. Wesley with one of her own. Wow.
Man, powerful kill right there by the team leader in kills for Texas Tech, and that's exactly what they needed. That'll bring them within 1 point here, 16-15, and they get the serve back. So maybe a chance for a little bit of a momentum swing for Texas Tech.
They are down 116-15. Hit percentage only 14.3% compared to the Bearcats' 32.1% so far in this first set. Cincinnati has it. Sent down was Fallon Stewart. Unable to get a clean block on that one, and the Bearcats get the point.
Big point there for the Cats, and now they get their star libero serving it away with Faith Frame.
And Faith Frame, I mean, she was highly touted. She was on the list of Michaela Chester's midseason top freshman list, released a couple days back. Mia Wesley with it. Sent over the top, and Faith Frame makes a diving effort. Julie Whittakin, who checked in the game, sends it over for the Bearcats up top, and sent it was Engler. Leffler keeps it in play. Frame, nice easy tap over. Texas Tech has it. Mia Wesley, drop shot over the top, and finds the open spot. Door open, she closes.
Smart play there by the fifth-year senior, Maya Wesley, just puts it right over the Cincinnati defense. But right on cue, Faith Frame had some good plays on that last point, kept it alive for Cincinnati.
17-16, the Cats are on top of the Red Raiders in set 1. Cats control it. Leffler over to Sigmund. Correa up top, Bryn Williams down low, controlled Whittakin. Frame up top, over to Fallon Stewart, and she gets a point. There's a lot of freshmen on the court, Jack.
A lot of freshmen, and it's a bright sign for the Cincinnati team. A lot of freshman production. It's especially been Fallon Stewart, Faith Frame, and Gillespie that have been getting the most work from the Young Bucks for Cincinnati, but definitely nice to see some of the youth out there.
Very interesting. You have 3 freshmen and 3 seniors out there.
Yeah, interesting lineup for sure, but it seems to have been working as there's an ace there for Cincinnati. 19-16. They're pulling away a little bit more, and it looks like Texas Tech will call their second timeout.
That ace right there was Gretchen Sigmund, the right side hitter freshman. She's gotten a little bit more tick in these games, and she's done a pretty good job
Another
so far.
freshman with the production for Cincinnati. But now you're 6 points away from winning this first set. You have the serve. You have all the momentum. This is when you just got to go full steam ahead and try to close out this first set.
You know, you look at both of these teams in their last game out. Cincinnati, they were in Fort Worth on Saturday against TCU. They lost in 4 sets. They won the first one 27-25, a back and forth battle that the Cats were able to prevail in that first set, but then they just kind of fell off. TCU found momentum and everything else, but the Cats are looking to try to rewrite this thing and find some momentum of their own here at home.
And TCU might have made those adjustments as the game went on, and Cincinnati has usually been pretty good in the first set this season, and they're only a couple points away from claiming the first one here. And against a Texas Tech team that hasn't won a set in over 4 games, this is going to be a really big one for Cincinnati if they can get it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a lot of these games, again, they've lost 4 in a row, but they haven't won many sets at all. It's not like they've been overly competitive when it comes to winning sets here and there.
Kind of the different thing from Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they've played quality opponents and they've been fighting. We're pretty much down to the wire. But yeah, Texas Tech, they've kind of just been getting dominated over the last couple of games. So it is close in this first set, though, to their credit.
Sigmund will be the one to serve it away, up 19-16 for the Cats. Over the top, controlled by Wesley. Up top, and Engler tries to poke it over. Whittakin with a nice handle on it. Leffler, Walker, drop shot. Texas Tech not fooled. Bryn Williams drops it down, but Whittakin gets lower. And wow, what a boom. Fallon Stewart.
Nice play. Fallon Stewart gets another nice kill on the near sideline, and now it's a 4-point lead, biggest lead of the match so far for the Bearcats.
20-16, that lead. As number 20 will serve it again. Sigmund, she's gotten used to serving so far. Again, it's an interesting lineup out there when it comes to experience, but everyone on this court so far has gotten a lot of valuable experience in this season. Sent over by Texas Tech and trying to get it down. Nice block at the net right there. Caitlin Leffler, she really likes to dime things up, but she got dirty on the defensive end.
How about the setter getting up for a block there? That's a big defensive play there. And now the Cats only 4 points away from claiming the first set.
21-16 the score. It's a left-handed serve from Sigmund, and it was a tough control for Wesley, but the Bearcats get another point.
Uncharacteristic play there by one of the team captains for Texas Tech. She just couldn't quite handle it. Another timeout by Texas Tech, and the Cats lead at 22-16.
You know what's interesting about Mia Wesley, you mentioned her being one of the team captains and one of the best players on this team. She played at Southern Miss from 2021 through last year in 2023, and also played at Portland in the 2020 season. In 2023, she had 98 sets and totaled 395 kills, double-digit kills in 23 games last year.
Man, that's impressive numbers. She's kind of been all around, as you said. She's been a transfer from 2 different schools, kind of all around the country. So it's kind of interesting to see what experience she has. She's kind of the core piece of this Texas Tech team.
Another interesting fact about her, she hasn't had a season where she has not been mentioned on some sort of conference team. In 2020, she was on the West Coast Conference honorable mention team at Portland. In her first year at Southern Miss, she was second team All-CUSA. Then they made the switch over to the Sun Belt. First team All-Sun Belt in 2022, and then last year, second team All-Sun Belt in 2023.
That's impressive stuff. To not only do it as a freshman, but to keep that consistency all the way through her career. It's just been really impressive to watch. And we've already seen it tonight. She's been all over the floor. She's been the one that's been being physical up front for Texas Tech, and she's going to have to be the one that can carry this team tonight against a pretty good Cincinnati offense.
So far, she has 2 kills on the night and 3 digs. Aaliyah McDonald and Bryn Williams also have 2 apiece. They're going to need to get some more points to battle back in set 1. Bearcats up 22-16 over the Red Raiders here at Fifth Third Arena. Sigmund will send it over. Engler over to Williams, and Abby Walker. Again, she's 44 blocks away, 41 kills away from 1,000, but she's one of the best in the conference at blocking.
Veteran player up front, great defensive play. They've been playing some really good defense here in the second half of this first set, only 2 away from winning the first set here tonight.
23-16, sent over top again, Sigmund. Now they're 1 point away. Tried to get it, a service ace for Sigmund, and Contreras could not hold on to that.
As much as we talked about service errors for the Bearcats, Texas Tech has not been able to contain the serves pretty much the whole first set.
Sigmund has served for what seems like an eternity. They have it over again. The Bearcats do. Sigmund over to Fallon Stewart. Dropped in. And it's not.
I think they should challenge that.
I think they may.
That was close.
Very, very close. Molly Alvey kind of holding off on that one as they're 1 point away. Reagan Engler will serve this one down 24-17. Whittakin has a handle on it. Leffler to Fallon Stewart and hit off a Texas Tech defender. And the Bearcats win set number 1, 25-17.
Great first set by Cincinnati. They did everything we said in the pregame. They controlled the pace of the game. They had really good offensive possessions. They made a couple service errors, though, more in the first half of the first set, but they adjusted and they really worked it out well, and they won the first set 25-17.
They won set 1. Can they win set 2? We'll find out here in just a couple of minutes on Bearcat Sports Radio.
Back here in Cincinnati at Fifth Third Arena for Cincinnati women's volleyball as the Bearcats lead it 1-0 here late on a Thursday evening. And Chase, what are some of the key things we saw in that first set by each team?
Well, you mentioned it with Texas Tech. Again, they had a lot of service errors on their end. Cincinnati had some earlier on, but Texas Tech kind of kept that theme going. They got to just try to figure out the smaller things and just pay attention to the finer details and just having some sort of chance to get those points and build some momentum earlier in sets and maintain it.
Bearcats played a very good first set. They pulled away there at the end to win it 25-17 as we're about to get the second set underway. Once again, lots of different players on the floor for Cincinnati. Gillespie and Faith Frame, the two freshmen, are in the back row, as well as Abby Walker and Glendinning for the Bearcats. But an important second set here for Cincinnati if they really want to capture all the momentum in a crucial Big 12 game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they went out here in that last part of the first set, they dominated, and if they're able to garner this momentum, keep it going forward, I mean, they can try to get out of here in 3 sets.
Gillespie will be the first to serve in the second set. Texas Tech contains it. Maya Wesley sends it over, and it got tipped away. It'll be a Bearcats point. I think she might have went into the net there, the captain for this Texas Tech team, but the Bearcats get a quick point, and Gillespie will serve it for the second time.
A lot of uncharacteristic stuff going on for Texas Tech. See if they can clean it up, especially with their leaders.
So Gillespie will serve it over again. The Red Raiders contain it again. Wesley on our near sideline, and it got tipped away, and that'll be a kill for Maya Wesley. A Cincinnati defender just quite got her hand on it.
Yeah, had a lot of speed coming off right there, and again, those are tough ones to kind of judge if it's going to go down immediately, if it's going to stay in the air.
Definitely tough to read.
It definitely is.
Correa will serve it over for Texas Tech. Faith Frame digs it well. Leffler over to Glendenning. She has it tipped away. Williams contained it for a moment. Back to Wesley. Get tipped away by Faith Frame. Tough play there, just like you were saying on that last one. Kind of tough to read. I think that one might have got tipped twice by a Cincinnati defender, but either way, Texas Tech point.
Yeah, it's tough to kind of like in that chest and shoulders area where it's kind of like you don't want to move it up too far. You don't want to just let it hit off of you or anything like that. It's a tough area to kind of maneuver.
So Correa will serve it over for the second time. The Texas Tech libero will put it over cleanly. Frame digs it for a moment. A little bit of miscommunication between Leffler and some of the other Bearcats. It'll drop anyway for a Texas Tech point.
Yeah, it was Leffler that was trying to move backward, try to save that one up, and then Sigmund didn't crash down. Just a little miscommunication at the verge point.
So Correa's third set in a row for Texas Tech. She'll put it over. Glendenning contains it to Gillespie. She'll just give it right back to Glendenning, and it goes right into the Texas Tech defense. Great dig, though. Over to Leffler. She'll put it up to Glendenning again. She'll tap it over. Nice defense again by Texas Tech. They'll just put it over for a moment, but Abby Walker will block it away, and a great Cincinnati point.
Well, the Cats weren't fooled right there. Again, Abby Walker, it was her and Glendenning. I mean, those are two very tall ladies that are up top on the net, and Abby Walker able to get a hand on that one and get the easy one.
Tough to contain for sure. Faith Frame will check out just momentarily for the Bearcats, so no libero on the floor for them. Maya Wesley sends it over again, and there is no one there. Gillespie, the nearest Bearcat, but nice placement on the ball.
Well, again, Texas Tech had to take advantage of having Faith Frame off the court and try to find that open spot, and they did right there, and they've had some momentum in this second set.
Texas Tech leads 4-2 now. They'll serve it over for Texas Tech. Leffler puts it up, and there is a nice play by the Bearcats, but great defense once again by Texas Tech. Leffler back to Glendenning on our far sideline. Tipped away, though, by Zeta Washington. Her sixth kill of the night, and Cincinnati will pull within one.
Yeah, Glendenning, she pretty much pulled the trigger right there. Texas Tech had the block on it, and it just went perfectly to Zeta Washington. And again, just easy kill down to the earth.
Funny how that works, just right to her. Leffler will serve it over, though. Maya Wesley digs it away for the Red Raiders. Blocked away by Washington momentarily. Back to Wesley on our near sideline. Just puts it over. Leffler contains it. Frame back on our far sideline to Sigmund, and it's a great kill. And actually, I think that went out. I thought it hit that far sideline. Hard to read over here sometimes, but it'll be a Texas Tech point.
It looked like it. Again, she had that left-handed attempt on the kill, and that would have been a really nice one if it dropped down.
Went in no man's land there for a second, but Wesley will send it right into the net for a service error, so the Bearcats will make it a one-point game.
Yeah, again, those service errors are going a long way. I mean, it's interesting to kind of look at with how Texas Tech has some veterans do that tonight.
Glendenning will send it over, and it went right off of Williams, and that'll be an ace for Carly Glendenning. Texas Tech just kind of had it bounce around for a second, but we are all tied.
Had it bounced around, and it looked like it was like a pinball machine over there for Texas Tech. It just bounced, boom, 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 and right down.
They tried to get it up in the air for a second, but it didn't quite work. Glendenning will send it over. Williams thought it was going to be out, but it'll land in. Two straight aces for Carly Glendenning, and the Bearcats take their first lead of the second set, 6-5.
Well, they say good eye in baseball, not so great of an eye right there. I mean, just Glendenning able to find that open spot, and Cats on top right now.
Right on that inside corner If you could say it like baseball, Washington will put it up. Leffler back to Washington. She hits it right into the net, but a great defensive play by the Red Raiders. Leffler back to Washington. Great kill by Zeta Washington, who has been all over the floor for the Bearcats. That'll put the Cats up 2. Great back and forth play between her and Leffler.
Have you ever seen the volleyball video with Scott Sterling in it, where it just,
I have.
It just gets hit in the face?
I know
hit the
exactly
face.
what you're talking
Looked
about.
like it right there for one time. Zeta Washington, powerful.
That is a great reference right there. That's out of the bag right there. Williams had it blocked away. Texas Tech, though, had pretty much a clean kill. No one on that far sideline for Cincinnati. That'll be Emily Merrick, who got the kill, the Flower Mound, Texas native. No one over there for Cincinnati, and a free point for the Red Raiders. So now Reagan Engler will send it over for the Red Raiders. She'll get it over cleanly. Faith Frame has it to Leffler, middle of the floor. Washington had it tipped right off the net, but it lands perfectly for another kill. She has been on fire tonight, and Cincinnati goes up 8-6.
Well, they might give Leffler the assist, but the net also played a pretty good hand in that one.
Just worked out perfectly there by Washington. So now Faith Frame will send it over. Kind of a high arcing serve. Over to Williams for Texas Tech. Blocked away by Abby Walker. Back to Williams a second time, and it'll land right in front of Faith Frame. So good opportunity by Williams twice in a row to get it over, and the second one just misses Faith Frame's hand. It's 8-7.
You had Walker and Sigmund had the block on the first one, and Bryn Williams able to learn from her mistake, get a little high arcing shot, but at the same time find that space in the back line, and it was a great point for Texas Tech.
It's tough when you block it once, but you have to do it again. It's pretty hard to get back there. So Leffler will put it up. There's Sigmund. Nice kill with that left-handed finish, and it's another great Cincinnati kill. 9-7. Cincinnati leaves.
Is it just me, or like in sports, it feels like when someone's doing it left-handed and they're doing it really well, it just looks better.
It does look better. And it could just be our vantage point, but that was a nice play right there by the freshman. So she served it over. Frame contains it. Leffler just puts it right over. Nice play, though, by Texas Tech's libero. And now Cincinnati will reset formation over. That's a great kill right there by Fallon Stewart, the freshman. All the freshmen getting in on the action here tonight, and the Cats lead it by 3.
Had a little trickeration from the veteran and Leffler, and then, the freshman getting after it. Just a great play right there. Connection. Gotta love it.
Fallon Stewart, 6'3". She's definitely not a small girl getting up there right on the net. She'll send it over again. Williams had it for a second. It gets blocked away. It'll be a Texas Tech point. Bearcats defense couldn't quite get there.
Not quite on that one. Didn't get the best handle on it, but again, you're not going to be able to get every single one of those and control those blocks. But if you can control enough of them, you have enough points and more than likely put yourself in a good position to win.
Williams will be the server for Texas Tech. Cincinnati leads it 10-8. Stewart had it for a moment. They'll give it back to her. She'll send it over. Nice dig, though, by Texas Tech. Texas Tech sends it over. Nice dig by Faith Frame. Over to Abby Walker. She pokes it over. Nice defense by Texas Tech. Wesley sends it over. Goes right over the Cincinnati's defense, but lucky that one just went out of the boundary line. It'll be a nice point for Cincinnati.
It will be. I think they're going to review this one, though.
And you will be correct. They are going to challenge this one. It was close. I couldn't quite tell. Hopefully we'll see another replay. It was a high arcing ball, so let's see if it got a little bit of the line, but first challenge of the night for Texas Tech. They've been hesitant about challenging some calls there tonight, but pretty confident with that one.
Yeah, it was closer than the Faith Frame one that happened earlier. There was a good amount of space in between, but nonetheless, we'll see if that one landed in the red and right on that back line. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Little YMCA playing over the speakers here. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight for this trick-or-treat special for the volleyball team tonight. Bearcats lead it 11-8 here in the second set. 25-17 was the score of the first set. Cincinnati won that pretty handily. But again, no service errors really from Cincinnati in this second set. We've talked about it pretty much all game, but they've done a really good job. More of the points coming for Texas Tech has just been on offense.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to make the other team earn those points, and so far that's when Texas Tech has been able to earn them. Cincinnati, like you mentioned, they've cleaned up a lot of stuff. 3 point for the Bearcats, though. We'll say on that one.
Things about to get restarted. We'll have to see what the call is.
They gave points to Cincinnati.
All right, I think they kept the call on the court, so that's good news for the Bearcats. So here we go. Cincinnati, Gillespie will be serving it with a 3-point lead, and that'll be right on cue, a service error right out of the break, and Texas Tech will get a free point.
You know, that announcer's jinx or curse or whatever you want to call it. Again, we refuse to believe it, but
yeah, it strikes again there. I mean, I don't know. That's hard. That one's pretty hard to argue. Texas Tech sends it over, and that one just goes out. That was another close call. Faith Frame, good decision to let that one go, and Cincinnati will get the point. 12-9 is the score. Abby Walker will go to serve for Cincinnati.
That one looked closer than the last one.
And now it looks like Gillespie might be bleeding or something. Molly Alvey was pretty alert to let the officials know. She was jumping all around. Gillespie was the one who served right before Abby Walker did.
Especially in these white uniforms, you don't want to have any sort of blood on it or anything like that. You know, it's
can't have that. No.
Tough to get anything out of white clothing. You know?
I'm sure the assistants appreciate that too.
Definitely.
Abby Walker will send it away. Once again for the Bearcats, Williams, good dig over to Wisely. Good dig though by Gillespie. Back to Glendenning right through the defenders for Texas Tech. And it'll be another great point for the Bearcats, 13-9. They lead it in the second set.
Not the normal type of kill you would see it hit off one hand and drop right down, but hey, a point's a point.
Walker sends it away, and that one will be a service here. That'll go right in between Correa, but it just went past the boundary line that time, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's just going to have to try to get this one back and put more emphasis and put their foot on the pedal and try to keep going.
So now the server will be Davila for Texas Tech. She'll send it away. Pretty good serve. That'll go right over the head of Sydney Nolan. It just caught that back corner. And Sydney Nolan, 6'4", a pretty tall girl. I mean, it's kind of hard to read that coming right over your head like that, but a good point by Texas Tech. She'll send it away. Gillespie over to Sydney Nolan. That one batted away. Second chance. Still great defense by Texas Tech. She'll put it over. Nice play. Back and forth they go. And Glendenning, another kill. She has just been electric for the Bearcats. Another great point. Leffler will come back in, and she'll check in for Sydney Nolan.
Yeah, Glendenning, she just put it right at Davila. Was unable to, able to control that one. That's a tough shot for anybody to go. That was up kind of in that shoulders face area. So good luck dealing with that one.
Leffler, the new substitute, sends it over for Cincinnati. Wisely, nice dig by Faith Frame, and they're going to say it's a double by Faith Frame on the dig. So Texas Tech will get the point. That was a powerful hit right there by Wesley. I thought that it was a clean dig, but apparently not.
I mean, that was a hard enough hit where they're like, oh, that's twice as nice, but wow.
And another back and forth they go. Wisely from the back line, digged away by Cincinnati. Faith Frame all the way over to Sigmund, and it's another great, that's found Stewart on the kill. So Cincinnati's freshman gets another point, and the Bearcats will call a timeout now, up 3, 15-12 here in the second set.
It was interesting on that last point right there, just kind of shot up in the air. You're not going to be able to get a growth spurt on that play to try to get up there, but I mean, this great play by Cincinnati, able to keep it going. A lot of these digs, returns, all this stuff, ball's been going really high. It's been pushing up toward the Jumbotron.
Oh, yeah, that last one almost hit the numbers up there on the Jumbotron. But again, though, another great kill by Fallon Stewart, the freshman, coming from that left-handed kill area. It's pretty hard to contain. It was another kill, and now Bearcats up 3, kind of exactly where they were in that first set. They have a 3-point lead about halfway through the set. Let's see if they can carry the momentum on to the second half.
Yeah, I think it's a big thing. I mean, looking at what Cincinnati's been, I mean, they started off good in Big 12 play. They had those lulls against those conference, those top 25 teams and everything else. Getting back here, trying to find some confidence, winning another Big 12 game would just be huge for them. I mean, it's going to get really tight and dicey down the stretch when they play some opponents like Arizona State come here, and then later on in the season, TCU does come back here.
Yes.
Baylor as well. You're going to get some of those return games as well.
Definitely. And seeing a team twice also can be very valuable, especially coming back here to our place. It might be easier to play. You make those adjustments from a coaching perspective, but also for Cincinnati, they've seen these girls once. Maybe they get a second chance at a win. But now for Texas Tech, you're already down 1 set. You're down 3, 15-12 right now. You got to go on a run. If you're Wesley and these Red Raiders, you got to start scoring some points.
Yeah, they got to find it from within. I mean, you got to have her go after it. You got to get Bryn Williams involved, and then really someone in Emily Merrick. I mean, she's had 139 kills this season. Not much going on tonight.
So here we go after the break. Ball poked over, great defense. Winesley on that back line, sends it over to Williams. We're in the middle of the floor. Nice dig by Faith Frame. Glendenning will just easily put it over. They'll reset formation. Back to Williams, poked away, and no one was home. Glendenning the closest one to it, and Texas Tech gets a good point coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, good rally going on again right there. Bryn Williams able to get involved and find that opening in that back left corner, depending on your vantage point, but found that space, and Texas Tech trying to find something.
Was a good dig by Faith Frame trying to get the ball back up there, but just didn't quite work out. Washington sent it over for a second. There's Williams again, and that'll be another kill for Williams. She has been one of the bright spots for this offense. The Mansfield, Texas native. She is only a junior, but she has been excellent on the outside for the Red Raiders.
She's done a lot this year. 50 digs and 27 blocks on top of her 130-plus kills.
Leffler, middle of the court, and there's Washington again. Another kill. She has been a menace in the middle of the floor for Cincinnati as she checks out. They will lead it 16-14.
Like that menace in the middle. 10 kills tonight for number 99. She's putting a stamp on this one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's been playing excellent. You really need that from some of the girls that haven't been producing as much. Leffler back over to Sigmund for a second, but batted away quickly by the Texas Tech defense, and it's a 1-point game.
That was great reaction right there by Bryn Williams. In air, had a deflection there, kind of floated a bit, levitation action, and able to send it right back down and do a good job. Right
Abby
there.
Walker kind of had that happen too. The ball kind of got stuck on the net. She just had to hit it over. Texas Tech will send it over though. Stewart to Leffler to Abby Walker, middle of the floor, and a nice kill by Abby Walker. Just great offense and great passing by Leffler, setting her up for the easy kill.
Well, as you mentioned her, she probably heard you. It's like, yeah, let's get on the board. Let's get a kill going. But again, Abby Walker, she's been fantastic all over the place.
So now Gretchen Sigmund will send it over for the Bearcats. Wisely to Bryn Williams over on that far sideline. Texas Tech. Faith Frame, almost an acrobatic dig, but a nice point by Texas Tech. And now Texas Tech's offense has looked really good coming out of the timeout. It's a 1-point game. New substitutes now in for Cincinnati. It looks like Sydney Nolan as well as Caroline Andreas will come in for the Bearcats. So Bryn Williams sends it over for Texas Tech. Frame puts it up in the air. Nice opportunity for the Bearcats. Didn't quite work. Wisely now on the outside. Faith Frame, great acrobatic dig. Back over. And that ball blocked away, but a great kill right there by Fallon Stewart. She has made her presence known here in this second set.
She really has, and at the same time, Faith Frame able to keep that alive. I mean, you mentioned before, she almost had the acrobatic one, the acrobatic dig. She had it right there. That was incredible.
That was a great dig, and now Gillespie will come in to serve for Fount Stewart. She'll send it over. Nice play. Correa contains it. Texas Tech had it tipped away by a Bearcats defender, and that'll be another kill by Emily Merrick, who has been one of the leading leaders for this Texas Tech team, with Wisely not being on her A game tonight as much as we expected. She's had to step up for this offense.
Have to keep it going. I mean, Texas Tech only down 1.
So Gillespie, middle of the floor, back to Glendenning. She'll tap it over. Bryn Williams, nice dig though. What a play by Texas Tech's defense. Abby Walker had it over the net, and oh my goodness, what a play by Bryn Williams, as well as Merrick just sending it over. And now, oh wow, they're gonna say it's Cincinnati's point, I think.
Wow.
I think they're gonna say it got tipped, I think.
I mean.
And I think he's gonna challenge.
Yeah, he's definitely challenging.
And he is.
That was incredible. An incredible effort. I don't know, obviously we'll see if the point stands, but wow.
Wow, oh yeah. And Coach Tony Greystone was very quick to grab that challenge card. Let's see if we get a replay. We did it on the last challenge, but either way, great defense by Texas Tech. It looked like it kind of did get tipped, I'm not going to lie, on Abby Walker's hit, because it kind of got elevated a little bit. But this is a big point. If Texas Tech can get this point, they would tie it up.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like they were working down there with the little people and, going real low and then pop right over the top.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just crazy stuff right there, crazy sequence.
There's been some crazy sequences here in this second set, but they've kind of went going back and forth after that timeout. Texas Tech's offense has been producing really well coming out of Cincinnati's timeout when it was 15-13, and this is a big point. Officials taking a bit of a longer time looking at this play.
I mean, it's really interesting, though. I thought Texas Tech kept it alive, and then they, I think are they reviewing the serve? No, sorry, it's not serve.
Well,
sorry, the kill attempt.
I'm sure that's what it is. I was also wondering if if it would have hit the floor on that defense, they would have stopped it earlier.
Yeah.
But I think that was clean. I'm not sure. And wow, they're going to say it's out. So Texas Tech will get the point, and that changes a lot of things now. It is tied at 18 apiece. What a play by Texas Tech to get that point, and we are all tied up here in crunch time in the second set.
Yeah, it's been that 1 point back and forth for the second set, but now Texas Tech able to tie it. See who can break through.
Correa sending over. Gillespie, middle of the floor, over to Sydney Nolan. Great kill by the 6'4" sophomore out of Florence, Kentucky. She sent it right down past the Texas Tech defenders and gets a big point. It's 19-18 as Abby Walker will go to serve. She sends it over. Correa just puts it right back. Nice play by Texas Tech, but great defense by the Bearcats. Glendenning had it tipped away, and that'll go out, and that'll be a kill by Carly Glendenning. It was great defense by both teams there. It was a great setup by Correa on the opening serve, getting it right into the middle of the floor for Texas Tech. But now Abby Walker will go for her second set serve, and she'll send it right into the net. Free point for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, that last point, there was a lot that was going on right there. A lot of deflections, back and forth, ping pong effect, whatever you want to call it. It was very interesting. Cincinnati was able to control it, and now Texas Tech has a chance to tie it back up.
So Davila will serve it for the Red Raiders. 20-19 is our score. Frame puts it high in the air. Back to Sydney Nolan. Has it tipped away, and it's another kill by Sydney Nolan. She's had 2 in a row as she'll check out for Leffler. As Gretchen Sigmund will also check in for Carolina Andreas for the Bearcats. So 21-19, Leffler, the new substitute, will serve.
Yeah, sometimes you need some fortunate bounces to go your way, and what you will do with that fortune will determine if it's good or bad.
Williams back to Bourne, over to Wisely. Nice dig by Sigmund to Leffler to Glendenning. Had it tipped away. Williams back to Bohr. Over to Wisely. She puts it up. Faith Frame contains it. Leffler, far sideline. Sigmund, smart play. Just puts it right over the net. Texas Tech back to Bryn Williams. Nice dig by Faith Frame. Leffler over to Sigmund. Back over and tipped away by Glendenning. Williams saves it, and it just falls right in the middle of the floor. Miscommunication by the Red Raiders, and the best rally of the night so far will go to the Bearcats, 22-19, as the Red Raiders will call a timeout.
You need oxygen, brother. That was a lot right there.
That
Going
was
back and forth.
Crazy. And we've had a couple of those. Nothing like that, though. That was pretty crazy. Good defense by both teams, but it ended up in a Bearcats point.
Yeah, I mean, right there, it was just back and forth. Great defense, but then it just turned into a miscommunication on the setup. That ball went up, it dropped right back down. All right, we're in it. But then they kind of forget that they're in it, and the ball's on the court, and it's a point for Cincinnati.
And that's one of those points where it just takes all the air out of your sails if you're Texas Tech. Now the Bearcats lead by 3. They only need 3 more to claim the second set. And for Texas Tech, it's just unfortunate because you played a great defensive points. You went back and forth with Cincinnati. You had key blocks on Sidney Nolan, Sigmund, and Glendenning, but Bearcats get lucky, drops right in the middle of the defense. 22-19 is our score late here in crunch time in the second set. Cincinnati trying to go up 2-0.
Yeah, it's just being able to try to finish this set out, have that momentum. Against Cincinnati, they just can't leave the door open so many times. You leave the door open so many times, odds are someone's going to walk through that door one time. And then what are you going to do when uninvited guests are in there? You got to fight.
Of course. And also against the Texas Tech team, you might be able to get away with some of those, service errors. You might get away with some of the miscommunication, some of the mistakes, because it's a team that's pretty much the same as you. You're not playing as underdogs as they have in the last couple of weeks, playing against Kansas, Kansas State, TCU, just ranked teams. But against Texas Tech, they're going to have to execute. Leffler will send it over as we get things started once again. Williams over to Bohr, over to Wisely for Texas Tech. Blocked away for a second by Sigmund, but it goes out of bounds. Point, Red Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, Washington and Sigmund were up top, had a good chance on that one. Wesley came with a lot of power. Just depends on how gravity and physics work right there.
Wesley will send it over on the serve. Glendenning contained it, but it just went right back over to a wide open Texas Tech offensive player. That was Bohr, the center, who just had a clean point. And now it's a 1-point game. And now they are going to force Cincinnati to call their own timeout.
Yeah, that was probably the easiest point that will be had for, I think that was Caitlin Cochran. But again, whoever it was, that's a very easy point right there. And it gets them right back into it. They were down 3, now it's a 1-point set. I mean, Cincinnati's got to try to tighten up and really try to lock things down for these next couple.
And these are the sets where you're really going to have to test not only the veterans on your team, but also the freshmen. You're getting down here. It's a 1-point game. If things start to sway towards Texas Tech's way, how is your team going to respond in those late game situations?
Yeah, and again, I mean, they've been working around some different lineups tonight. Again, like we mentioned with the combination of freshmen and seniors. And then you've got Glendenning in there. You've got Sidney Nolan, who hasn't really been in there a whole lot in these first 2 sets. Whittakind as well. You've just thrown in a lot of different people in this and trying to get a mixture of what the best rotation, what the best unit looks like. In this situation, you got to try to have some sort of an answer so you can win this second set. Go up 2-0, have that momentum going into set 3.
It has been interesting with the players that they've got in. Obviously, Zeta Washington has been a key part of the offense tonight. Glendenning, obviously, once again, has been a key contributor. But, again, like you said, Sidney Nolan coming off the bench, getting points. That can be the difference in the game. But as we get things started here, 22-21, Cats lead it in the second set. Wesley will send it over for Texas Tech into that back line. Gillespie disguises it into the air. Frame gets it back for Glendenning. And what a assist by Faith Frame out of the back row. That one will sneak in, and Glendenning put on the finishing touches. Great point for the Bearcats.
It's like one of those half-court passes up the court in basketball. She just sent it up there and gave it to the star player, and finish the rest of the job.
So after the kill, Glendinning will come to serve, 2 points away from claiming. Second set tipped over. Leffler back to Zeta Washington, puts it over for a second. Correa contains it over to Bryn Williams, puts it over, and it's right past the boundary line, out of bounds, and it's set point here in the second set. And now a timeout called by Texas Tech, and a great offensive display out of the timeout for the Bearcats.
It's runs, it's just back and forth. I mean, Cincinnati had the run, Texas Tech had the run. Cincinnati gets another run at a very good time. Can they cap this one off? That remains to be seen.
1 point away now for going up 2-0. And if you're Texas Tech, again, we've said it pregame. I know it was one of the big things I talked about before the game. This team still hasn't won a set since the beginning of October, and how much of a mental toll can that play on a team, especially when you're this close? Both of these sets, obviously the first set, Bearcats pulled away a little bit at the end, but this one has been pretty much back and forth the whole time.
You said since the start of October?
October 5th.
Whew.
Yep.
Wow.
Since Colorado on October 5th when they went to 5, they have not won a set since.
Wow. I mean, again, it's a mental toll that's just all over the place. I mean, just seeing it, hearing about it, you already know that Coach Tony Graystone's been saying, like, you guys got to get some momentum. You guys got to be able to get some points on the board, got to win a set, get some confidence, get something going for this team. You got to find the spark. They're in a tough spot right here in that coffin corner that you really don't want to be in, but you got to try to battle back Cincinnati in this scenario. Put it away.
Red Raiders backs against the wall now in the second set. And unfortunate for them, Glendinning will be the one to serve for the Bearcats. As the crowd gets their feet here in Fifth Third Arena, Glendinning will send it over right in the middle of the floor for Texas Tech. Back to Bryn Williams. She'll be over. She gets it inside, right in front of Faith Frame. Nice point there by the Red Raiders to stay alive.
Staying alive, that is the thing right now. Now 24-22. Can they clean things up, give themselves a chance? A service error right here would just, it would suck for them, but they have to give themselves some sort of a chance.
Try to at least tie it up so they have a chance in this one. They'll put it over, gets right over, and now Whittakind could not contain the ball, and all of a sudden, it's a 1 point game. I mean, that's just an excellent serve, though. Went right over the net, and now Cincinnati will burn a timeout. And just like that, 1 point game, here we go again.
It really just goes back to runs. It goes back to just the momentum swings here and there. It's interesting with momentum. Where do you find momentum? Or does momentum just kind of find you in a way?
Volleyball is a very interesting sport. You said it earlier on the broadcast. It's very much like basketball. It's a game of runs. And we just saw it. They scored 2 points right out of the gate. And just like that, Texas Tech is within 1 point, and if they tie this up, things could get a whole lot more interesting.
Well, you also did mention your first set of volleyball was a 38-point set, so
that's also true. Yeah, definitely. I've seen Cincinnati play some crazy sets already in that first game against Morehead State, but let's see. I mean, what they're going to do coming out of this timeout. You obviously got to keep spirits high for both of these teams. If you're Cincinnati, you've given up 2 points, you might just start to feel, oh no, Texas Tech, they're coming back. And if you're Coach Tony Greystone, you got to be telling your players, hey, we are right there, 1 point away from tying this up, and all of a sudden it's a brand new game.
It's the clash of momentum, energy, those finer details will prevail in this moment. Who's going to have more and who will be able to strike when it's needed?
Well, it will be Reagan Lennon for her third serve in a row. Let's see if Lennon can get it over the net and try to put Texas Tech back in this game tonight. So she'll be ready. Back row is ready for Cincinnati. Whittakind back there. She will receive the ball. She sets it up. Over to Leffler. Back. Far sideline. Blocked away. Great defensive play right there by the Red Raiders. It was Caitlin Cochran with the big-time block, and all of a sudden, it is all tied at 24 apiece.
It looked like it was just Fallon Stewart's chance right there. Texas Tech just popped up out of nowhere. Great defensive play.
Another one barely tapped up by Whittakind. Washington had it for a second. Williams puts it over. Great dig by Faith Frame. Unbelievable play. Back, found Stewart, tapped away by Frame. Back to found Stewart again. Blacked away by Faith Frame, and it goes right in the middle of the Cincinnati defense, and it is the exact same thing that happened on that one rally earlier in this set. Miscommunication from the Bearcats.
Momentum with Texas Tech. Faith Frame looked like one-punch woman right there twice. But
Unbelievable.
Just kept it alive, just unable to just convert.
Set point now. Frame puts it up. Leffler, middle of the floor. Washington had it blocked away, and just like that, Texas Tech will win the second set, their first set win since all the way back on October 5th against Colorado, and that is a heartbreaker for the Bearcats. You had the lead the whole time, and out of nowhere, Texas Tech comes in. They will steal a set from the Bearcats, and just like that, we are tied at 1 apiece. But just like that, we will take a quick break here at Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Fifth Third Arena. It's 1-1. The ominous music starting to play here. It's spooky season.
It was a rough second set there by the Bearcats at the end, and it's a tough one. I talked about it right before the break. You're winning the whole set, and then the momentum all of a sudden, just in the blink of an eye, got switched. Texas Tech took over and needed it. They needed it bad. It was a crucial set for the Red Raiders, and now all of a sudden 1-1 here in tonight's game. Let's see if the Bearcats can bounce back.
Both teams definitely need to say the least. Been on some skids toward the cellar of the Big 12 as this creepy music kind of just plays right in the theme. Someone's got to get out of the cellar.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to stay down there. You just got to figure out who's going to make those key plays, especially in set 3, the one that kind of breaks the balance.
Yeah, and also, honestly, the most interesting part is Cincinnati played a great set. I think they only had 2 or 3 service errors. So it's volleyball though. That's how it works.
The back and forth game it goes as the ball goes back and forth. Correa will serve it for Texas Tech. Leffler, Walker, easy quick point for Cincinnati to start this third set off.
Right off the bat, Abby Walker getting some action here in the third set. Easy kill, and the Bearcats claim first blood.
And Abby Walker will be the one to serve this 1-1-0. The score for the Bearcats on top. Williams sends it over here. Merrick actually hit it. Zeta Washington punches it down, and trying to make a diving effort was Correa, unable to. Cats 2-0.
Washington continuing what she's done for the half of the game so far tonight. Another great kill, and it's really been great to see the offensive balance between her and Glendenning.
11 kills tonight for Zeta Washington. Ball lips over. Nice play by Bryn Williams to keep it alive. Mia Wesley puts it up, but Cincinnati will control it. Leffler to Glendenning, drop over the top. Texas Tech not fooled on their side. Wesley with the chance, spikes it. Oh, wow, that thing popped over to the third row of the stands, and a fan catches the ball. Texas Tech gets their first point of set number 3.
Abby Walker couldn't quite get to that one. Very powerful kill, though, by the Red Raiders. They get a nice point there. 2-1 is our score.
They talk about exit velo in baseball. I wonder what it is in volleyball. That's a lot of heat.
That's a good question.
Sent over right there by Davila. And it's too far. Side out for Cincinnati. 3-1 your score.
Smart play by the back line for the Bearcats, letting that one go. Again, though, Gillespie and Faith Frame, the 2 freshmen in there, as well as Gretchen Sigmund. So 3 freshmen on the floor right now.
Leffler's going to serve this one away. She gets it over the top. Controlled by Williams up top. Wesley has a chance and gets it down past Carly Glendenning.
Nice play by the Red Raiders. Their offense has been a lot better here as they've kind of adjusted halfway through this game. It seems like they're getting a lot more opportunities that they were getting in that first set.
Wesley starting to pick up confidence. 9 kills in this one, but she has a service error.
She's had a couple of those tonight. It's been kind of uncharacteristic, but honestly, Bryn Williams has been the one that's been able to step up in her place tonight. Even though that's what happens sometimes, you start players and playing is good, you need others to fill her shoes.
4-2 the score, number 4 for the Bearcats. Glendenning serves it, controlled by Wesley over the top. Williams unable to get something going. Fallon Stewart had that one poked away. Cincinnati has the control on it, though. Sigmund with a chance, poked up in the air. Correa with the chance, and over top is Williams. Cats have it. Sigmund left hand and a little too far. Texas Tech escapes that one with a point.
4-3 is the score. Bearcats, Red Raiders kind of going back and forth here to start this third set, but this is a big one for both these teams. If you go up 2-1, your chances of winning go up very significantly. So big one here right now, as maybe a challenge, and it will be. Yeah. Cincinnati challenging the call.
I'm going to review right now. We've had a few of these tonight. I believe that's maybe the first one Cincinnati has reviewed tonight. Texas Tech has used their green card and scores table a couple times.
A lot of challenges here tonight. I think I heard over the PA it was a net violation is what they're reviewing. So we'll have to see the call on that. But both teams getting at it here in this third set immediately. Obviously, service error there, but both teams getting the ball over, getting into their star players so far. It's been tight here to start this third set.
Yeah, looking at some of the numbers tonight, Cincinnati having 33 kills compared to Texas Tech's 23. Done a very good job in that department. Hit percentage of 27.1 for the Cats, 18.7 for Texas Tech. And then Texas Tech really manning themselves at the net with 5 blocks, and Cincinnati with 3. Been a pretty evenly matched game in the statistics category, and it's pretty much been evenly matched on the court so far.
And that's what we expected. I mean, both these teams very, very similar. And all around, even their production numbers, it's all pretty similar. Obviously, they haven't been playing all the same teams, so it's kind of hard to compare to that. But both of these teams have been playing pretty well. Officials still taking a look at it. It's been a longer challenge than usual.
They've been taking a lot of time on this one. There's possibly some sort of answer about to come. Maybe, maybe not. Anticipation. It's a tough.
It's hard. It's hard, and here we go. They're going to give it to Texas Tech. So long review does not go the Bearcats' way.
So the score will stand at 4-3. Cats over top of the Red Raiders in set 3. Tied 1-1 overall. This was a very critical set to win. Reagan Linen, the graduate from Southern Miss, will send this one away. Controlled by Glendenning, and a miscommunication. It shoots out toward the scores table.
Easy point for the Red Raiders again, though. So again, miscommunication by the Bearcats, giving away free valuable points, and we are all tied.
4-4 your score. Linen will serve this one up. Clean serve over the top. Glendenning controls it. Leffler up top for Fallon Stewart, but poked away at the net by Cochran. And the ball drops into the Texas Tech side. Cats get a very warranted point right there.
Nice point there. Just easy does it. He puts it right over in between the defenders, and Cincinnati gets a good point.
5-4 the score. Faith Frame will be the one to serve this one away. Been fantastic this season. Can't say enough about what number 15 for the Cats has done. Up top and sent down. Poked around. Texas Tech has it. Bryn Williams puts it over the top and too far. Cats another point. 6-4 in set 3.
That one just aired out a little bit on the kill opportunity. Bearcats fortunate there, extending the lead just a little bit, inch by inch.
Frame receives the ball. Bounced it a couple times. Getting ready to set this one away. She serves it. Controlled. Texas Tech running around a lot. Bryn Williams puts it down, but Cincinnati not full. Tapped over the top, and a nice play by Davila. Wesley, little drop shot, but not fooled by the Cats. Fallon Stewart poked around and unable. She gets it down for the point. Texas Tech unable to make a close on defense.
Wesley, nice diving chance there for Texas Tech, but again, just great placement overall. They've been putting the ball just right in between the defenders, if that's either in the middle or on the sides. It's been working out in their favor.
Picking and choosing spots, and they've done a good job so far. The Cats have. Served over by Faith Frame. Controlled by Davila. Up top from Cochran. Down low from Williams. Glendenning gets on the floor. She controls it. Fallon Stewart taps it over the top. Williams to Cochran. Back over to Wesley, who gets it. Use the net as assistance, but a point's a point in this one.
Almost looked like Walker blocked that just for a moment, but nice kill there. Gets Texas Tech a nice point. Substitutions being made now by the Red Raiders.
We'll say as announcers, you can't really have deceiving eyes, but in some of these plays that some of these players have made, it's tough not to.
It is a little tough.
Served over the top by Borer. Sigmund with a hard left-handed slap down, and she has a kill.
She's been efficient on that far sideline all game from that left-handed perspective. I can't say it enough how hard that is to defend, and the freshman is putting in work.
She's got 3 kills tonight, and she's going to be the one to serve this one away with the left hand. And again, an ace right here. I mean, Bryn Williams tried to get after it, shot back, and kept on going.
First time we've seen it tonight where Cincinnati's kind of putting it on them early. They've already jumped out to a 4-point lead. Maybe that can lead to possibly a rout here in this third set. I don't want to speak too soon, though.
The fourth service ace for Gretchen Sigmund as Texas Tech has the control. Merrick finds it. That ball shoots right up into the Jumbotron, but Faith Frame able to control it. Fallon Stewart gets it over the net. What a diving effort right there by Mia Wesley, but it's halted. Point for Cincinnati.
Again, more miscommunication by the Red Raiders. It's happened multiple times. It's just the middle of the floor. Neither one of them really wants to hit it. And again, coming off of the point, that ball shot super high up in the air. Good job at Frame just getting the ball over to her teammates.
A lot of their teammates were kind of in limbo right there, trying to get after it. As shot over the top, a service error right there for Sigmund. Again, Sigmund so far tonight, she's been really good. 4 kills, 4 service aces, 5 digs. She's filled up that stat sheet little bit by little bit as Bryn Williams will serve this one. 10-6, the Cats are up. Williams serves it over the top, controlled by Fallon Stewart. Set up by Indris and back to Fallon Stewart. Glendening gets on the floor. Fallon Stewart, another opportunity, blocked at the net right there, but a double tap. Not alike, but a good one for the Bearcats.
McDonald's had some issues with getting the ball up. She's had two of those things happen to her in the last couple of points, and the Bearcats just get another crucial point. They lead by 5.
The freshman Lily Gillespie will be the one to serve this one away. 11-6 is the score in set 3. Cincinnati took set 1. Texas Tech took a longer set 2. Gillespie with a long serve of her own, set up and sent down by Aaliyah McDonald, but controlled by Faith Frame. Set up, Sydney Nolan, sent down and over the top. It'll be a point for Cincinnati as it ricocheted off of Texas Tech's hands.
And just by the body language from Texas Tech, as they're going to call a timeout, and I think that Greystone definitely knows that his girls right now are just not performing to what they were talking about after that second set. They're kind of just like being a little bit slower paced. They're not really playing with as much enthusiasm as they really should be, and all of a sudden, don't look now, Cats up 6.
I mean, in some situations, it seems like maybe a team uses that much momentum, they pour that much into a finals, into a set, and maybe it just takes a little bit out of them. And again, if you fall down a certain amount, it's a tough hole to climb.
It's going to be hard to crawl out after a big hole like this. And if you're Texas Tech out of this timeout, you just got to reset. You just got to blank your memory, and you want to come out of this timeout, just try to get some points. And we've already seen them do it in the second set. They climbed out of pretty much where we thought the set was almost over. It was 24-21. They scored like 6 straight points to win that. And now all of a sudden, Bearcats lead by 6 in this third set, where it's a crucial one, especially on the road.
You're looking at Texas Tech, their upcoming schedule. They don't play again for another 6 days. They'll take on Kansas at home on October 30th. That'll be a 7 p.m. Eastern time start, Central over there. The next time the Cats will be on the court after this one will be on the road that same Wednesday, October the 30th, down Orlando, Florida against Central Florida, 7 p.m. on ESPN+.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game, especially traveling as much as Cincinnati does in the Big 12, where it's a really spread out conference. It'll be a big game for them for sure.
Definitely nationwide with this conference realignment. Wesley puts one up and sent back, but Faith Frame has the control on it. Glendening just tap it over, gives a chance. Merrick put up and blocked by Abby Walker, but it will be side out for Texas Tech.
Red Raiders get a point quickly after that timeout, just like I was talking about. You want to try to start winning some momentum back if you're Texas Tech, already down early in the third set.
Chipping away, you go one by one. They got 1 point there. We'll see if they get another one here. Correa sends it over. Faith Frame controls it up top. Indris over to Glendening, and Glendening had a lot of control on that one. Sends it down to the ground, to say the least.
She's been all over the floor. She's their best offensive player, and she's showing why tonight. She has already had tons of kills and just a great setup there for Glendening.
Abby Walker serves it over. Bryn Williams controls it down. Ooh, nice punch right there from Lynan. as the Cats do keep it alive. Indris over to Glendenning, tap over the top, keeping it alive as Texas Tech, and Bryn Williams sends it over. Nice play by a couple of the front line defenders. Down into the earth, Sydney Nolan, the North Carolina transfer. Might as well send that one to North Carolina on the hit.
Kind of a dual threat with Sydney Nolan and Glendenning, both in the game right now on opposite sides, both extremely tall girls, and it's definitely tough to defend against that.
14-7, otherwise 3 touchdowns. Now it's 15-7. An ace for Abby Walker. Make it 15-7.
And now the Cats starting to pour it on a little bit, 15-7 after the ace.
Walker will serve this one again. Over the top, controlled by Williams. A little bit out there on the miscommunication. Merrick sends it over, lipped over the net. Here's Glendenning, pokes it down. Nice play, Correa. On the flip side, Merrick puts it over the top. And a little bit too far. Abby Walker had the hands, it shot up, and Gillespie was unable to get toward it. 15-8, Cats on top.
Faith Frame will check in quickly after she sits for 1 point. And you know what's a name we haven't really called much recently? It's been Zeta Washington here in this third set. She's been very, very good. She had a kill earlier in the set, but it would be nice to see her try to get a point here.
Well, the Cats do get a point. Service error for the Red Raiders. That was Bryn Williams, who just sent it a little too long. A little airmail action. Can't talk. As Caitlin Leffler will be the one to serve this one away. 16-8 to score. The Cats on top of the Red Raiders. High arcing serve. A little too high and too long. Sent back over to the Red Raiders.
The service errors is what's keeping Texas Tech in the game so far. I mean, Cincinnati, they score a bunch of points, but then they give the ball right back to Wesley and the Red Raiders.
They're just playing pass back and forth as Mia Wesley sends it a bit too long and a service error of her own.
She's had a couple tonight, and I don't know what it is, if it's either just not seeing the floor well, but the grad player is just, she has not been on her A game here tonight for Texas Tech.
Part of the reason why Texas Tech hasn't really had the best night overall offensively, to say the least. But a great offensive play right there by Bryn Williams. Sending it down and off the ricochet from Carly Glendenning. It's 17-10, and Reagan Linen will serve. Linen from Southern Miss, the transfer. His teammates with Mia Wesley for a few years. Controlled by Glendenning. Leffler, Sigmund. Nice play by Linen, keeping it alive is Davila. Williams over, but a great block right there. The name we haven't heard in a minute has now been heard. Zeta Washington, 99, makes a play.
Right on cue. Right as I was saying, nice kill there by the Bearcats. 8-point lead now for Cincinnati as Faith Frame will go to serve.
18-10, Frame will serve. Cats momentum, serves it over the top. Davila, and a nice change of direction from Cochran, but not fooled by the Bearcats. Cochran has it again. Correa sets up Wesley. Wesley down, but a nice control, a dig by Caitlin Leffler. Sigmund, the left-handed spike, unable to, or by the scores table, and Bryn Williams makes a nice play on it. Correa sent it over. Leffler back up top. Sigmund poked it over. Nice volley going on. Wesley, Williams down. Cincinnati keeping it going, but a nice block at the net. Frame controls it. Fallon Stewart with it. And that'll be a point for Cincinnati as the deflection goes off of Texas Tech. 19-10, Cats on top.
Great rally. Once again, now Texas Tech will have to call a timeout. We saw the defense on display, we saw the offense on display, and eventually another great point from Fallon Stewart.
Here the Cats are up 19-10 in set 3. We're going to take a quick breather here on Bearcast Sports Radio. The continuation of set 3 coming up next. Back here on Bearcat Sports Radio, the Bearcats are up 19-10 over Texas Tech as we're about to resume here later on in set 3. Cats really need this one. Texas Tech does too, but Cincinnati starting to gain some momentum and trying to garner it and push toward the finish line.
Bearcats, they've played a great set here in the third set. I mean, really no complaints other than maybe some service errors. They have a 9-point lead now, and if you're Texas Tech, it's desperation time. If you go down 2-1, it is going to be very tough to make a comeback.
Frame will serve it over. Texas Tech trying to control it. They do. Wesley, the push over the top as Leffler sets up Fallon Stewart. Nice block at the net, but not nice enough. 3-point for Cincinnati, 20-10. Again, like you mentioned, Jack, I mean, it's keeping Texas Tech in. It's been these service errors that Cincinnati has had, and so far they've cleaned it up to this point.
Been pretty clean in the third set so far, for sure.
Williams sends it over. Nice dig by Glendening over to Fallon Stewart. A little bit of a knuckleball, but goes out of play. Point for Texas Tech.
20-11 now the score. Bearcats lead it by 9. And if you're Texas Tech, you got to go on a run. You cannot wait around. This is do or die time now for the Red Raiders.
Borer will, hopefully for the Red Raiders' sake, start a run. Kicked up by Abby Walker, keeping it in play. Have a soccer background possibly, but sent down. What a play right there by Aaliyah McDonald right off of Faith Frame, sends it out of frame. Point Texas Tech.
I mean, we have seen some crazy defensive plays, but then on the comeback on Faith Frame, that's just tough to put it up on that powerful of a hit.
To simplify, a lot happened right there. Leffler with the set, Sigmund the left hand. That's a point for Cincinnati. Found the open spot. Cats up 21-12.
The freshmen have been going at it tonight. Gretchen Sigmund as well as Fallon Stewart have been key contributors on the offense, and it's really great to see that from a couple of freshmen.
Sigmund the left-handed serve, diving from Mia Wesley, keeps it alive. Merrick drops it down and finds the opening. Texas Tech not going away. 21-13. Tech trying to find a way.
Cats 4 points away as Sydney Nolan will come in and make that front line even bigger. And Bryn Williams will be the server for the Red Raiders.
Nolan checked in as well as Endress. Williams the serve for the Red Raiders. Controlled by Glendening. Up top, Sydney Nolan. Very easy. It's like pitch and catch and just puts it down into the court.
Comes in the game and delivers immediately. You love to see that coming off the bench as Gillespie will go to serve, who she's been pretty efficient serving so far tonight.
Sydney Nolan, immediate impact. Lee Gillespie will serve. 22-13. Cats on top. She gets a serve over the top. Correa controls it up top and down low, but the Cats aren't too slow. Frame with it. Now over to Sydney Nolan, and Nolan continues the impact, gets it down, a kill. 23-13. Cats remain on top.
Second kill since coming into the game for Sydney Nolan, and now the Cats only 2 points away from going up 2-1.
2 points away. Gillespie will serve this one. 23-13. Your score. Controlled by Correa. Sent over. Mia Wesley, a hard one, but controlled by Faith Frame on the dig. Here's Glendening. And Bryn Williams controls it. Up top from Borer and sent down by Merrick. Glendening keeps it alive. Up top and blocked at the net by both, but Texas Tech has it. Mia Wesley sending it over. And a nice play on the back end by Gillespie. And down into the earth. Number 4, Carly Glendening gets her 10th kill of the night.
How about that offensive show by the Bearcats there on getting their 24th point of the third set, as Fifth Third will come to their feet once again. It is set point.
Here's your equation. 24 points equals set point. Gillespie sends it over the top. Diving effort from Correa. Williams is way short, and Cincinnati gets a much-needed set 3 victory. They're up 2-1, 25-13. Dominant effort right there to try to open up this match.
Absolute domination in that third set for the Bearcats. Overall, played really great volleyball. Defense looked good, offense played good, and now they're up 2-1 and have all the momentum heading into the fourth set.
We'll be back momentarily for that fourth set. Cats, Red Raiders, Bearcat Sports Radio.
Back here once again in Cincinnati as Cincinnati is up 2-1 here on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Domination in the third set overall by the Bearcats. All the momentum in the Bearcats' way. And now, Chase, for this fourth set, what does Cincinnati need to continue to do to finish this one off here tonight?
Well, whatever momentum they had, they got to try to keep it and just keep pushing forward. Again, they didn't really have many service errors. They played really clean volleyball. Keep it squeaky clean, and you'll get out of here in 4 sets.
Crowd is loving the energy here to start this fourth set for the Bearcats. So far, the storylines have been the freshmen all night long. And speaking of freshmen, Lily Gillespie will be serving it to start off the fourth set. She gets it away. Correa, middle of the floor. And McDonald had a chance. It'll be called out. Texas Tech very frustrated, it looked like, with the call. But no challenge by Greystone and the Red Raiders. So 1-0 Cincinnati.
That's one you got to have. At the start of the set, that's just one you got to have, and it's unfortunate for them.
And how about that ace? Gillespie just skies it right over the net. It looked like she mishit it, but works out in her favor. It's an ace.
Yeah, it was like a moonball a little bit. Just dropped right over the top, and it caught Texas Tech off guard. A really good job right there.
So now Gillespie sends it over for Texas Tech. Middle of the floor, Abby Walker sends it over far sideline. Blocked away again by Abby Walker. Correa, though, great play, and it will not get over. Britton Williams trying to contain it just for a second. And just like that, Cincinnati has put up 3 points to start this fourth set.
That was a very loud, audible smack right there, I'll say that. I mean, great effort by Texas Tech. Cincinnati just trying to get those early points and separate this gap.
So Gillespie's fourth serve to start this fourth set. She sends it over. Correa easily has it. Bore over to Bryn Williams. Nice dig by Faith Frame. Faith Frame will get it back. She'll send it over in just reset formation. Williams has it blocked away by Abby Walker. And how about 24 getting it up for another block? She has been the key to the Bearcats defense. And just like that, it is 4-0 Cincinnati, already a timeout called by Texas Tech.
Wow, I mean, 24, I mean, she's been balling tonight. Abby Walker, she's been doing a lot of great things at the net, playing above the net, like above the rim. They're showing a basketball highlight, so just kind of hard to get, sidetracked right there. But
I know they looked really good against Ohio State the other night. It's going to be really interesting what they can do this year in a Big 12 conference that is just absolutely stacked all the way down for men's basketball this year.
We're going to have some fun ones to call, I'll tell you that. I mean, think about it. We got Xavier coming here. You got Dayton down at the neutral
Oh,
site.
yeah, that's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. You've got Arizona coming to town. Kansas comes to town. Baylor as well. Kansas State. TCU. There's a lot of great matchups that are going to be here. You can also listen to here on Bearcat Sports Radio. The entire crew will be at it. It's going to be fun.
Arizona and Kansas will be the first 2 home games, I believe, for Cincinnati basketball and conference play. So having them home here to start off the season will be big. I'm sure the ruckus is going to be going crazy for that one. But just like you said, all those games will be on the Bearcat Sports Network as we will get things started. Once again, 4-0 is our score in the 4th set as Lily Gillespie will serve it for the 5th time to start this set. It is Gillespie, Faith Frame, Carly Glending, Abby Walker. Leffler is in there as well as Gretchen Sigmund for the Bearcats. So now Gillespie will serve it over for her 5th time, and that one is going to be just left of the boundary, and Texas Tech scores their first point in the 4th set.
Well, you can't win them all, I'll say that. But I want to go back to that last point. I mean, Faith Frame, she was able, that ball almost hit the ground, but she got both hands and knuckles right underneath it to keep that one alive. But really good job on that last point. At this point, Texas Tech has it.
Well, Faith Frame kind of has it get away from her for a second. Glending gets it off of the hit from Lily Gillespie. Now Bryn Williams has it deflected away. That's a nice point. And Texas Tech, 2 straight points. They've cut the lead in half, 4-2.
Yeah, that ball was hit right at the net. I couldn't tell if it was Leffler or Abby Walker. Again, when it shoots off like that, it's a tough read for Faith Frame to try to make a good play on it. She's been really good tonight, though, overall, in making those reads. Just that one was really shot up high and at a high rate of speed.
Correa gets it over to Gillespie. Now Glending, opposite side. Walker will just easily put it over. Now Bohr has it blocked away again by Abby Walker. The second big-time block in this 4th set, and it's 5-2 Bearcats.
I really wonder if Katrina Merriweather, the head coach of UC women's basketball, is in the building, because Abby Walker, rim protector, net protector, whatever.
She's getting up there for sure, and just like that, she'll have herself an ace as well. 6-2 Bearcats. She blocked Emily Merrick on that far sideline just before that last serve, but she's been getting up all night.
Yes, she has. I mean, she's been a key piece, like you mentioned, Jack, just defensively. She's done a good job, and offensively she's made some plays.
Walker sends it over once again. Bryn Williams, that time, got it through the defense. Washington couldn't quite block it away. Frame will check back in for Abby Walker. 6-3, Bearcats lead it in the 4th set.
Yeah, it was a good defensive attempt right there by Zeta Washington. Just went off the wrong way, and sometimes the bounces don't go your way.
So nice serve by Texas Tech. Glending on our far sideline gets another kill. Tipped away by Texas Tech. 7-3. Glending has been great. As now Leffler will go to serve.
That's the thing. She does it with such ease. When that ball is up in the air and it's hanging, she's just so fluid with it. Able to just come down, make the kill, and just make it look really easy.
Leffler back to Glending once again. This time she just taps it over. Texas Tech has it. And now Wesley from the back line. Nice dig by Gillespie. Back to Glending, and that one will go just right of the boundary line. That'll be a nice point for Texas Tech, 7-4.
Yeah, it was a good play right there overall, just staying defensively sound for Texas Tech. You know, Cincinnati just got to try to find find the momentum back, get this ball back, and just start playing really good offense.
It's hard to keep that momentum after getting such a good start as they were up 4-0, but now Britton Williams serves it away for Texas Tech. Gillespie just shoots it up once again. Leffler to Glending, has it tipped away, and that'll be another kill. Carly Glending starting to pick up a little bit more fire here in this fourth set. And now Fallon Stewart, who has also been very crucial to the Cincinnati offense tonight, will check back in.
She had bits and pieces throughout this game, Glendenning did, but now she's risen up as tied for the most kills in this match with Fallon Stewart. Slowly waking up the beast.
That one will be a service there on Glending. A little uncharacteristic there, but free point for Texas Tech either way, 8-5. So now Lennon will serve it for Texas Tech. She'll send it away, just gets over the line there. Glending to Leffler, back to Fallon Stewart. Nice defense, though, by Texas Tech, and now a nice play by Bryn Williams coming from the back line. And she'll put it down for an easy kill, and all of a sudden, 8-6. Starting to get a little tighter here in the fourth set.
There you go with that game of runs. It's just being able to harbor momentum and see what happens going forward. Texas Tech, a bit of sparking, a bit of life.
And now Fallon Stewart just tried to tip it over the net. Maybe a little bit of a freshman's mistake there, but it goes right in the net. And all of a sudden, Texas Tech has gained all the momentum back. 1 point game as they will go to serve again. Lennon will serve it for the Red Raiders. And that one will be a service error. Tried to squeak it right in between Glending and Washington. That one didn't work. Abby Walker will check back in for Washington, 9-7.
Yeah, try to slide it in on the sides. You know, it's a tough one to work with because, again, that sideline is a defender. So it's a tough shot, but if you're able to master that, again, you're very tough to stop.
And now there is McDonald in the middle of the floor trying to get something happen. And now they're looking for a tip, but they're not going to give it to him. They're going to say it's out. Texas Tech gets the point, and it's 9-8 as they're going to make some substitutions here.
It's like Molly Alvey might run that green card over.
And
she'll hold it.
She'll decide not to. Lots of challenges tonight. It's been kind of a reoccurring theme for both teams. There's been a lot of those close calls that both coaches want that point, obviously, for their team. And now here is a serve. Glending had it tipped away a little bit. Sigmund kept it in momentarily. They'll get it back over the net. And now there's Wesley on the hit. Blocked away. Leffler back over. And there is Sigmund, excuse me, on the hit. She'll get the kill, 10-8, Cincinnati.
Again, a great play right there. A lot of back and forth action, and Sigmund able to do what's needed to be done.
Sigmund and Stewart kind of back and forth. Sometimes it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. Those S's.
So now there's Sigmund with the serve. That'll be a service error, and it'll go out. And now this is starting to look like Cincinnati back in the first set, where they were starting to get a little bit of sloppy volleyball going. They've been playing pretty clean the last two sets, but now 10-9, they're starting to get back into that sloppy play. That's not what you want to see.
Got to lock up here. They got to clean up those mistakes and try to put together some good volleyball.
So now Cincinnati once again has possession. Texas Tech, though, Wesley from the back line. Glending, middle of the floor. Abby Walker just taps it over the net. Another tap. Great play by Sydney Nolan in the middle of the floor. And then Sigmund trying to get it over. Fallon Stewart trying to get it over. And it hits the net, tied up 10 apiece.
And with it being back and forth, it's tough to stay up with. I mean, now it's your 10-10 match, a 10-10 set 4. This is big.
I need to remember that Sigmund is a lefty. I think that's going to probably help kind of characterize that. That's going to be a point for Cincinnati. 11-10, they'll reclaim the lead. 11-10. So now Gillespie will come in for Fallon Stewart, and she'll come in to serve. Freshman is coming in for another freshman. So Gillespie sends it over the net. Clean, Correa controls it. There's McDonald, middle of the floor. Powerful kill by McDonald. And just like that, we're tied at 11 again. So now Correa will go back to serve.
Yeah, able to find the open spot right there, set it up on a silver platter for McDonald, and she's able to cash in.
Correa will serve it over, tie game. Glending pokes it up. Back to Glending again, and it's a powerful kill by Carly Glendening. Another nice play, and she passed it. She got the ball right back to her, and then the powerful finish. It's 12-11.
That makes her the match leader for kills tonight with 13.
Wesley had it momentarily, and now a great kill. Middle of the floor for Lennon, who came up from the back row and just puts it down. 12-12. Now some new substitutions coming in for Texas Tech. Cochran will check back in, as well as Davila, who will come to serve for the Red Raiders. So she'll send it over. 12-12 is our score. Gillespie, middle of the floor. There's Glending, and she just tapped it right over. Smart play by Glendening. She'll get another kill. 13-12 as Sydney Nolan will go to serve.
Back and forth volleyball right here. I mean, they're going, just great offense overall. Cincinnati just got to clean up what they can.
So Sydney Nolan sends it into the back row of Texas Tech. Blocked away momentarily. Correa in the back row will send it up to Wesley. Powerful kill. Gillespie had it for a second. Nolan will just tap it over conservatively. Nice defense, though, by Texas Tech. Britton Williams will tap it over. Faith Frame, good dig. And now Glendening will tap it. Williams all the way over to Cochran. Back to Williams. Tipped away again. Middle of the floor. Washington tried to get it over, but a nice block there by Lennon. And Texas Tech gets a nice rally and a nice point, and we're tied at 13.
Yeah, it was Lennon and Bryn Williams that were right there. I mean, they made a great play defensively. Zeta Washington normally able to get those, but again, to try to have that defense, you got to have two girls going up and try to make a wall, and that's exactly what happened there.
So Leffler will check back in for Andres. And now a new Texas Tech players. Contreras will send it over. Gillespie over to Leffler. Back to Carly Glendening. That one sails out of bounds. And Texas Tech will take their first lead of this fourth set, 14-13, as Contreras will go for her second serve.
Yeah, Tech has found that momentum, and they've kept it going. Cincinnati, they have to find a way to swing things back in their favor.
So Gillespie in the back row gets it to Leffler. Washington gets another kill. Zeta Washington's 12th kill of the night. Her and Glendening have been back and forth. They've been a two-headed monster for the Bearcats offense so far. Tonight it's 14-14. Here in the fourth set as number 4, Carly Glendening will go to serve. She puts it over. Wesley will get it back to her. She sends it over for a second, blocked away. Smart play, though, by Contreras to let it bounce, and that'll be a Texas Tech point.
Very close, I will say. That thing shot up to the moon. Almost dropped down perfectly in the court of play, but great job by Contreras.
A lot of those have been kind of just flowing up there. There's been a lot of balls that have almost hit the scoreboard a couple times tonight. Frame, middle of the floor, Leffler, back over to Stewart. And that just great defense right there by the Texas Tech team. They just blocked it, and now they take a 2-point lead on the Bearcats. 16-14 they lead. And now Nina Horning will come in. Her first appearance of the game. We'll check in for Fallon Stewart, who's kind of been struggling in this fourth set a little bit. Glendening hits it up to Leffler. Now Horning will get her first touch of the match, and it's going to result in a kill. She just puts it right over. Tipped away by Texas Tech momentarily, but it fell right at their feet, and it's 16-15.
Yeah, the Cats have gone deep into this roster to try to find some more answers to put this one away. And you got to do what you got to do in these situations.
So now Frame serves it. Wesley back to Horner, back to Wesley. Frame contains it. Leffler back over to Nina Horning, her second kill opportunity. Now back to Leslie. Wesley just taps it over, but it could not quite get over. Good defense by Cincinnati again, and we're tied at 16, 2 straight points for the Bearcats.
Again, just have to really tighten up and start playing very good and sound volleyball. That's what they've done these last 2 points. Can they keep it going?
So Frame served it over, back over to Wesley on our near sideline, blocked away for a second, but that ball is going to hit out, and it'll be a Texas Tech point, 17-16, and now 3 new Red Raiders are going to come in, including Bryn Williams, who has been one of the leaders of this offense, as well as Wesley. Even though it seems like she hasn't had that good of a game, she has 12 digs, or excuse me, kills on the night. Williams has 10 of her own. And now Texas Tech will serve it. Glenning, the Leffler, back over, and a great kill right there by Gretchen Sigmund right in front of the Texas Tech defense. And on the right side of the court, a left-handed kill like that is just so dangerous.
Oh, dangerous, deadly, had a lot of speed on it, kept it right down that line. That's a tough thing to go after. What a shot. What a kill right there for Gretchen Sigmund.
So now Sigmund, after the kill, will serve it over. And now a fake. That was some great offense right there. Bryn Williams jumped up, fake spiked it, and then Wesley cleaned up the leftovers for the point, 18-17, Texas Tech.
Now you got me hungry for some dinner later on with all this stuff. I mean, we're here for a minute. But again, Mia Wesley, that was a great play. Able to get it down there and regain the lead.
Thanksgiving is coming up, though, so
Very close.
I'm ready for that. Wesley gets a nice ace there. Nina Horning couldn't quite contain it. And now Texas Tech, just like that, don't look now, 19-17, 6 points away from claiming this 4th set, and now a timeout by the Bearcats. We will take a quick break here on the Bearcast Sports Network. Back once again here on the Bearcast Sports Network. 19-17 is our score in the 4th set. Bearcats lead by 2 as Cincinnati trying to close this one out here tonight on Thursday. Big kill there by Sydney Nolan to start off this 4th set coming out of the timeout. Powerful kill there, 19-18.
Yeah, definitely powerful. I mean, set up perfectly. She got a really good hold on that one, and just a great overall play by Nolan. Again, who we haven't seen a whole lot of tonight in some spots, but when she's been out there, immediate impact.
She's been really, really good coming off of the bench. Now Gillespie will serve it for the Cats. Good serve there. Williams, nice dig. They're going to give it to Wesley, and that ball, again, shot up super high. Cincinnati's bench clears away and just lets the Bearcats put it over. And now there is McDonald, middle of the floor. Great kill. Texas Tech leads by 2.
Yeah, McDonald starting to pick things up. That's her 6th kill of the night. But I want to say with a lot of these moon balls, it's almost like we need a telescope to kind of look up and see this thing's going up to it with the Jeff Weiler sign up there on the Jumbotron.
Tough to see from here. I can't even imagine what it would be like to try to hit it as a player. Frame gets it over to Sydney Nolan, was tapped away for a moment. Now Bryn Williams comes back. Gillespie puts it up for a second. Nolan again. What a block by Texas Tech. Oh my goodness. Bryn Williams put that ball down, and Texas Tech leads by 3.
That was a sonic boom through the headsets right there. I mean, that was ultra powerful.
You could feel it all the way up here. You could tell the Texas Tech crowd liked it. It was right in front of them. And now Correa will serve it away, and that's going to be an ace. And no, play on. I thought they stopped play for a second. Frame will put it up. There's Sydney Nolan. Texas Tech to Correa, over to Bryn. She'll put it over. Back to Nolan, and that ball, great dig by Texas Tech. Bryn Williams again, great dig by Cincinnati. Back and forth they go, over to Glendenning, and it's blocked away, and it's a Texas Tech point. And I didn't even think that, I thought that was an ace, but what a rally either way.
It looked like it. Again, you had a lot of great stuff going on both sides of the net, but that ball just traveled so low where it was just ping pong effect back and forth. If Cincinnati would have got the point right there, you would have saw a challenge.
Oh yeah, I would think, because I saw the side judge use his flag, so that's why I thought it was a point. But now Texas Tech jumps up to a 4-point lead. A great rally again, doesn't go the Bearcats' way, and the momentum is just shifting completely towards the Red Raiders.
Hopefully to take a page out of Texas Tech's book, when they were down in the second set, Cincinnati can try to say, hey, you know, we can't cheat on a test, but we can definitely look at our notes. Let's go on ahead and let's go on a run ourselves.
And it's kind of the same feeling as the second set, even though this time Texas Tech's controlling the lead for the first time here in crunch time in the fourth set, trying to force a fifth set here on Thursday night. But for the Bearcats, they're up 2-1. Down 4, they got to make some adjustments here in the huddle. You have to, no service errors, you got to play smart volleyball, just start chipping away at that lead, as Texas Tech's only 3 points away from tying this up.
Yeah, they got to figure this out. Again, I mean, Texas Tech has made a lot of really neat plays during this stretch. If Cincinnati can just try to clean things up, if they're able to, and they're going to try to go all out and make some very good plays of their own, which they have, it's just resulted in Texas Tech points. They just have to try to just separate themselves from the pack. Can they make another extra play to prolong something, or can they, it just depends.
So Correa sends it over. Faith Frame has it. There's Glendenning, tipped away. Good dig there by Correa, the libero. Back to Sydney Nolan on the opposite side. Good kill by number 2, Sydney Nolan, and it's 22-19. Cincinnati down 3.
Yeah, great play there by Sydney Nolan. Again, she put a lot of heat on it. It hit off of Bryn Williams, and it dropped down. But again, just having the immediate impact for Sydney Nolan when she steps on the court.
So Abby Walker had it served it away. Nice block, and that's going to go out, though. So that'll be a Texas Tech point. So they'll go back up 4. 23-19 our score. And another great play by Texas Tech on defense.
Again, I mean, you can't really control some of that stuff on those blocks. Again, if the ball has a lot of speed coming off it and Zeta Washington just gets her hands up, you can't really control how much speed or where it's going to land at.
Gillespie for Cincinnati, over to Glendenning, another kill. She will notch her 15th of the game. She has been a beast for this Bearcats offense. And now some substitutions being made. Leffler will come in for Sydney Nolan. And now Gretchen Sigmund, the freshman, will check in for Andres. So some new faces now on the floor for Cincinnati. They're going to get their starting setter in there. That's probably going to help the offense a little bit on this rotation. And now Bryn Williams on our near sideline, had it blocked away, and it just got tipped, and it went right in the middle of every single Bearcat. And all of a sudden, it is set point here in the fourth set.
Well, you got to pull magic out of a hat, a lucky rabbit out of the top hat right now if you're Cincinnati. Texas Tech can smell it. They can smell the fourth set victory and playing some extra volleyball.
So here comes Cincinnati. Leffler over to Sigmund. She hits it hard, but they get the ball back. Wesley over to Gillespie. To Leffler, middle of the floor. Zeta Washington. Good dig, though, by Correa. And now back to Wesley. She'll finish it off. And all of a sudden, we are going to 5 sets here in Cincinnati. They'll win it 25-20, and it's 2-2 here at Fifth Third Arena. We will take a short break. We'll be back in just a few moments for a 5th set. There will be a winner tonight eventually. We will figure it out coming up next.
Pump it up on a Thursday from Fifth Third Arena. Got us working a graveyard shift tonight. Fifth set coming from Cincinnati, Ohio. 2-2. It's tied between the Cats and the Red Raiders. Big time Big 12 matchup. Someone's got to win.
Yeah, it has been a great contest here tonight by both teams. And how about Texas Tech crawling their way back? They went down 1-0, they won it. The second set, they went down 2-1. They won the fourth set. So it's going to be interesting to see who can pull out with the win.
Not backing down. And not backing down from that one was Reagan Lynan as they get this one started. Texas Tech, the first point of set 5.
And the Raiders are fired up coming out of the break. How about that kill right in front of Faith Frame?
First one to 15 will win this match. Correa sends it over, controlled by Glendenning. Set up from Endress to Nolan and down into the earth. Sydney Nolan, the immediate impact for number 2.
Sydney Nolan showing why she is a key contributor for the Bearcats. Just a nice kill, gets it right over the Texas Tech defense.
1-1 your score. Abby Walker will serve it over for the Cats. Controlled by Wesley. From Cochran to Bryn Williams, controlled by Carly Glendenning. Back to Glendenning, a tap over the top, but just a little bit mishit right there. The Cats want a tip.
Yeah, that you got to challenge that.
And Molly Alvey will challenge it. Sends over the green card.
Yeah.
Challenging the tip. Yeah, in a situation like this, you got to pull out all the stops.
Have to.
You have to. It's
and I did think that one got tipped. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it kind of changed the trajectory of the ball or not, because Abby Walker just hit it over, but we'll see. This is a big point right here for the Bearcats. They can tie it up if they get this call.
Again, I mean, sometimes with this video review they've shown us, sometimes they haven't, so we'll try to walk through if we do get that, if that's showing on the screen. It's every point is critical here in this 5th and final set, as it will be a tip, and the point will be rewarded for Cincinnati. Big time for the Cats.
Big time there. Great challenge by Coach Alvey. It's now 2-1 Cincy. Big point there for Abby Walker as it got tipped, and now she'll serve it away.
Glendenning tonight with 15 kills. Make that 16, actually. Served over the top. Cochran to Merrick. Dropped over. Found the opening. Point, Texas Tech.
Back and forth they go. I have a feeling that's going to go down the wire here in this 5th set, as it's been all night long. Both teams striking punches back and forth, 2-2.
Lola Davila will serve this one for the Red Raiders. Over the top, controlled by Glendenning. Set up from Endress, down 0 below by Zeta Washington. The Cats will still have it. Glendenning tries to find an angle, finds another angle, but great defense by Texas Tech, and they ultimately score off of it.
That's just an unfortunate point right there. I mean, great defense, great digs by the Red Raiders, and eventually there was no defense on that back line for the kill. Good point by Texas Tech.
Davila will serve it again, the freshman from Helotes, Texas. Controlled from Gillespie. Over to Sydney Nolan, and Nolan had a nice read on that one. Texas Tech keeps it alive. Mia Wesley with it, controlled by Endress. Glendenning, now it's back and forth. Texas Tech with it. Sent over the top from Correa. Over to Glendenning. Glendenning finds a space. 17 kills for 4.
She has been so good tonight. 17 kills, the leader, not only on the Bearcat side, but in the entire game. She has been electric, and she's been the reason why the Cats have been able to hang with Texas Tech.
3-3 the score here in set 5. Number 3 for the Cats. Caitlin Leffler will serve this one away. High arcing serve, a little too long, and point for Texas Tech.
And the service errors are critical. Like, you cannot have them happening, especially in a 5th set. When you're only going to 15, you cannot get down and come back like the Cats and Texas Tech have done both in this match. So you just got to clean that up, especially when you're getting out of the wire here.
The timeliness, the weight of these points, as Emily Contreras will serve over the net. Gillespie controls it. Leffler, Glendenning, but blocked at the net. What a play by Caitlin Cochran.
Glendenning tried to get it over the Texas Tech defense, but again, we've seen some critical blocks by the Red Raiders, and they get the point. They're up 2.
Contreras will serve once again. And she has a service error of her own. Side out for Cincinnati. Your Fallon Stewart's going to check in for Lily Gillespie, a freshman for a freshman. As Carly Glendenning will be the one to serve this one away. Cats down 4-5. Set up, Cochran, Wesley, blocked at the net. But Texas Tech still has it. Again, bounced off, but the tip will be a point for the Red Raiders, 6-4 in their favor.
6-4, you're down 2. You got to start going on a run now if you're Cincinnati. Texas Tech has kind of been controlling the pace of this 5th set so far. If you're Cincinnati, get some of your offensive contributors in the action, get some points.
Linen will line this one up, controlled by Glendenning. Set up from Leffler, down and poked up in the air was Sigmund. And blocked back, Fallon Stewart. What a play.
What a play from the freshman in a big spot. And now the Cats cut it to 1, 6-5 in the 5th set. When you're only going to 15, that is a huge point for the Bearcats.
Their big-time freshman Faith Frame will serve this one away. High arcer, a little too long.
And that is a tough one coming from Faith Frame, who's been so good all night. And a leader on this team just goes past the boundary, 7-5.
Williams, Borer, and Merritt check in for the Red Raiders, 7-5. The Texas Tech Red Raiders are up. Served by Borer over the top, controlled by Frame. Sent down by Sigmund, but controlled by the Red Raiders. Mia Wesley with a chance, but blocked down. Keeping it alive is Texas Tech. And what a play by Correa. Cincinnati has it, trying to go over the net, and down into the earth. Oh, it's Sigmund.
Gretchen Sigmund, Fallon Stewart. How about the freshman on offense, putting it down for the Bearcats? It's 6-7. Let's see if that can start to sway some of this momentum.
The young Cats making some big-time plays as Sigmund will serve this one away, the lefty. Controlled by Wesley, served up, Merrick with it. Nice dig from Frame up top, and Fallon Stewart drops it down, but Texas Tech controls it. Correa over to Wesley, who spikes it down, and Wesley puts it in for a point for the Red Raiders.
Wesley's been stepping up here in the 4th and 5th sets. She has been putting the team on her back on offense.
Here, that 8th point in the set will have them switch over sides, as they'll kind of treat it as a set change. So Texas Tech is up 8-6. A timeout on the floor. We got a minute and a half until we resume play. So far in this 5th set, been very minimalistic as a 5th set should be. What are we thinking right now?
Texas Tech, they've just been doing a good job. They're not winning by too much, but they're just, every time the Cats cut it to 1, you know, they get a point. They go up 2. And in a 15-point game, it's going to be tough for the Cats to recapture that momentum. When it's 6-8 right now, this is when you go. You cannot wait around now. If you're in that huddle right now for Cincinnati, you have to go score, and you have to lean to the people that have been doing it all night long. Glendenning, you got to get her the ball. Even the freshmen, Sigmund and Stewart, get them involved, try to mix things up and get some points.
Who has more pressure to win this game? It's a tough one.
I would think you have to say Cincinnati. You have to, because not only is it your home floor, but also this is a team that haven't had a close game like this since pretty much 2 or 3 weeks. And for Texas Tech, they've been fighting all night long. They've just been scratching and clawing their way back. And if you're the Bearcats, you got to get this one, especially with some really tough games coming up. You got to get this win under your belt and get your 3rd conference win of the year.
Again, what's at stake? Cincinnati's 2-5 in the Big 12, and Texas Tech is 1-6. A Red Raiders win would have these two teams tied in the standings, but Texas Tech would be ahead of them because of the head-to-head. Cincinnati with a win would go to 3-5 right before some of their big opponents on the road, hoping to get some sort of life and momentum going down the stretch. It's 8-6. Texas Tech is up, and serving up is Mia Wesley. Glendenning over to Nolan, tapped over the top. Nice play by the Red Raiders. Up top to Bryn Williams. And Faith Frame tried to dig it, but it just goes out of play. Texas Tech up 9-6.
That's a tough one from Frame. Couldn't quite get the spin on it and just goes straight out of bounds. And now Wesley serving. This is dangerous territory for the Bearcats.
It definitely is, as Frame able to dig it out. Sydney Nolan with a hard slam down, but controlled. And Mia Wesley, but what a dig right there by Faith Frame. Tap over the top from Fallon Stewart. They keep it alive, and she pokes it down. Two-hand slam.
How about Fallon Stewart again? And also, what a dig by Faith Frame. Had to go all the way on her back to keep that one in play after a big-time spike. But Fallon Stewart, a big-time kill, makes it 9-7.
The proverbial heat is rising here at Fifth Third. Gillespie will send it over. Texas Tech with control. And wow, Malia McDonald. Oh, my goodness.
Put it down. McDonald putting it down again, and it stretches the lead to 3. The Texas Tech, with Correa serving, only needs 5 more to end this one here tonight.
10-7 the score in favor of the Red Raiders. Correa gets it over the net, controlled by Faith Frame. Mendris over to Glendenning, and Glendenning splits the gap, finds a point, 10-8. Cats chipping away.
Great kill, but also bad miscommunication between Correa right there, and Williams just went right between them. And it's, again, back to a 2-point game. But can they get over that hump? They have not been able to get past a 2-point deficit.
Blocked at the net are the Cats, but Texas Tech controls it. Blocked again! And the Cats have the chance. Set up, Stewart, Glendenning, finds the space again! Harley Glendenning! Unbelievable night so far for her.
Lean to your veterans in these late game situations, and Glendenning puts it down. 18 kills on the night. She has had an unbelievable game.
And an unfortunate service error right there for Abby Walker, who had a great opportunity to try to tie this one up. 11-9 in favor of Texas Tech.
Make it a 1-point game, and then you make a service error, and just like that, Texas Tech's back up 2, but Faith Frame checks back in the game for the Cats.
Serving is Davila, and too far, a service error of their own, a trade for a trade.
We will take it. We'll definitely take it, and now you get Leffler back in the game. You take Sydney Nolan out, and now you also put in Gretchen Sigmund. So now an interesting lineup now on the floor for Cincinnati.
4 Cats with 10-plus kills and 5 with 8-plus kills of their own. Texas Tech on the control, tapped over the top, trying to make a play. Great play by Leffler over this frame and sent down. Glendenning, that's 20 kills for 4. We got a tie ball game.
How about Glendenning tying it up 11 apiece? Timeout by Texas Tech, and we have ourselves a ball game.
We're going to capture some oxygen over here, and we'll take a breather of our own. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Down the drive we go. The final drive, if you want to go football references, but hey, we got a good one here from Fifth Third Arena.
And it's been a privilege to do it. It's been great tonight. 11-11 here in the 5th set. Each team 4 points away from ending this one in a crucial Big 12 game. And this crowd starting to bring the energy a little bit. It's getting down to the wire. Leffler will be the server for the Bearcats.
11-11. Someone's got to make a wish for a win. Over the top, controlled by Texas Tech. Bryn Williams puts it down. Good dig by Faith Frame. Over to Glendening, and she's taking over.
How about Glendening notching her 20th kill of the night? She puts it down with authority right past Correa. And it is the first Bearcat lead of the 5th set.
Leffler over the top, controlled by Correa. Up top, looking for Bryn Williams. Dig by Frame. Leffler finding the star player. A little too far out there as we're tied at 12.
And that's just an unfortunate one. Tried to go for another kill, and that one just went far right. Actually, Glendening 21 kills on the night, just having an absolute insane game.
21, Contreras will serve this one. 12-12, it's tied. Leffler sets up Glendening again, and a little too far outside, kind of in that same spot.
Same exact play. I mean, Glendening just couldn't quite get it in. Now timeout Cincinnati. Bearcats took the lead just for a second, but now another timeout for the Bearcats, down 1, 13-12, and now here we go. This is when things are gonna start getting chippy. Texas Tech 2 points away from finishing this game off.
Looking at some of the stats right now. Again, like you mentioned, Jack, 21 kills for Glendening. She's played great. The last couple points just mishit, unable to put the ball in play and get a couple points. She's had a great one tonight. Mia Wesley's picked it up as well. The two stars we talked about in the Open have definitely delivered and even more.
And it's tough to criticize Glendening because she's been playing absolutely phenomenal the whole night tonight. So, I mean, she's been great, but now this is when she's gonna have to step up for her team. You know, you've got some of your veterans on the floor, but also you got a lot of freshmen on the floor. So it's also really interesting with this lineup, how they're gonna be able to do it. What we talked about, these are the situations, these late game situations with the game on the line, that's gonna show you what kind of team this Cincinnati volleyball team is.
3 freshmen on the court for Cincinnati, like you just mentioned, Sigmund, Gillespie, and Faith Frame. Serving it for the Red Raiders will be Contreras. Over the net, controlled by Gillespie. Over to Carly Glendening, it's popped up. Played by Correa. Over to Mia Wesley, tapped over. Leffler with it, set up from Frame. Sigmund down and ricocheted, and a great point by Texas Tech. A set point for the Red Raiders is here.
And it got blocked away. Just great defense by Texas Tech, and now here we go. And it'll be another timeout by Cincinnati. 14-12, game on the line. It will be going down to the wire here tonight. 14-12, the lead.
This game has delivered. This match has delivered overall. It's been back and forth. There have been opportunities where Cincinnati could have put this one away. They've kept that door open, trying to battle back with a last-ditch effort right here to string together a couple of really strenuous points.
Yeah, and now Bearcats cannot give up another point unless they can tie this game up. So this is when you're going to have to draw something up in the huddle to try to get some momentum back and also get the crowd back in. And now Texas Tech 1 point away from finishing this one off tonight.
Again, a win for Texas Tech would give them their second Big 12 win of the season and move them past Cincinnati in the standings. Cincinnati trying to stay afloat in the Big 12 race. A win for them would put them at 3-5. Not just set point, but match point. Contreras will serve. Over the top, controlled by Gillespie. Frame over to Glendening. Glendening and short of the net. And Texas Tech comes back and beats the Bearcats.
And honestly, hard to get any words. I mean, it seemed like Cincinnati controlled it pretty much the whole match, and they just kind of fell apart at the end. And it's hard for this team, especially at home, and especially for a Texas Tech team that has been struggling so much they've been needing this win. But for the Bearcats, and especially going to the hardest part of your schedule here down the stretch for Cincinnati, this is one that's going to sting for sure.
That schedule that we're mentioning, they have a game against Central Florida on Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. And then next Friday they take on Houston on the road at 8 p.m. And then their next home game will be 2 weeks from now against West Virginia, an 11 a.m. Eastern game on Education Day, which you can find here on Bearcat Sports Radio. On the flip side, Texas Tech, their next game will be next Wednesday against Kansas, who again has been playing some really good volleyball. And they'll take on Central Florida. They have 2 home games back-to-back, a Wednesday-Saturday bout.
Yeah, but that Kansas game's going to be tough. That's a really good Kansas team. We just saw them last week come in here and just dominate. I mean, they have some really great athletes, but overall disappointing, but also great game here tonight. Even though it's a tough loss, they played some great volleyball.
The Stars did show out, Glendenning 21 kills, unfortunately in a losing effort, and Mia Wesley picked it up as it went down the stretch with 16 kills, and Bryn Williams with 13 kills of her own tonight. And not to mention Fallon Stewart, Zeta Washington, Sydney Nolan all had 10-plus kills, trying to find some sort of momentum going on the road next week. That'll do it here from Fifth Third Arena. Texas Tech wins it in 5 sets. With that being said, that's Jack Ritchie. I'm Chase Johnson. We'll see you guys next time here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Have a good night.